It's always technical difficulties, and it must be Mercury retrograde. This is Cop Talk Live. I'm Dominic Izzo. Welcome. It's Wednesday night. We do this every Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 Central, 7 Mountain, 6 Pacific, and we talk about changing cop culture. I appreciate everybody who winds up joining. If you're watching on YouTube, Rumble, Instagram, where else are we at? Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, Facebook, all that good stuff. Just want to wish everybody a good welcome and, let's just say, hey, what's going on? All right, ways that you can wind up supporting. Let's do some housekeeping really quickly here. Ways that you can wind up supporting Cop Talk Live is you go to our website, Cop Talk Live, changing cop culture. This is it. CopTalkLive.org, CopTalkLive.org. And when you click on this page, it's going to ask you to enter in your email address, and you're going to get updates about all of our articles, training, which, oh my God, we're going to be offering. Holy shit. Can we start off the bat that we're going to offer training for people, over the last couple of days. And I want to talk about how I may be wrong. I do not want to criticize anybody who isn't. I offered several people who had a problem with some of the stuff of shootings. You guys are too late. Too late. Sorry. Waited. Responded way too early. Or whatever. I offered, hey, you guys got problems with the shooting of the autistic kid. Come on and have a conversation. And the phones are open today, 708-982-0974. For those who do not know, Idaho police had a shooting where police responded to this two subjects, and I reviewed this in detail, massive detail. I did an hour video on the concept of police shootings, referencing specifically that case. There's the article right here. You can go to CopTalkLive.org, and I did a giant breakdown of this, and it's available on all the YouTube, Rumble, Twitter, all the jazz. And the amount of people, critics, we're going to look at today had something to fucking say. You guys always do. You always do. And I don't go in the comment section anymore. I really don't. It's just a waste of time. So I said, hey, I went to several people who had some really critical shit to say. I said, hey, 9 o'clock, and I did this on Friday. So that's all Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. 5 days to respond. No pussy responded to the invitation. And I gave several, I think I gave out 10 or 15 invitations to come out and have a conversation about the shooting, and nobody doesn't, or nobody wants to. So ways you can support the channel. It's good to see you guys over in Instagram. I can see you. We look over on the chat. Rachel Morgan, what's going on? Got my 20 in. How are you? April Schoen, Bev, it's good to see you guys. I'm sorry I'm not doing the daily podcast anymore, but it's great to see you guys. Stephen, Richie, Sarah, it's good to see you guys over in the chat. Guys, we have a, this pops up on the website. You can just type your email address in here if you ever want to do that, which I would appreciate. We have a group chat that's 24/7 live on Telegram on the app. When you wind up going to any of the formats, Spotify, Rumble, all the stuff, you'll see descriptions how you can sponsor the show. Number one, you can order my book, Before the Badge, everything you need to know before you become a cop. You could sponsor us directly through Cop Talk Live on PayPal. You can click the link to join our Telegram chat, and we're just going to be exchanging information there. You guys got something you want to say about law enforcement? Say it. I want to hear it. Phones are open today, 708-982-0974. Jump, and I want to hear everything you guys have to say, because Wednesday nights is a lot more casual. Wednesday nights is not as critiquing law enforcement as much as it is an open dialogue for people who support the police, for people who fucking hate the police. God knows I have a lot of hate. There are people who's like, fuck the police. Great, you guys are welcome on the platform. I want to hear from you. So 708-982-0974. If you can see right there, you can just call at any time. I want to go over, and I said I don't do the comment section, but I want to do this. For those who were a little bit late to the party, I did this video, which has over 100,000 views on just Facebook alone. And I'm going to play this really quick, and let's see if we could talk about the comment section.
They heard the mother. They saw the mother. They couldn't have. They could not have not seen her. She was right there in the line of fire. No. And so they saw her. They heard her. They had a man next to him with all the information, and this is why this is news, in my opinion. They ignored it all.
How could police not see or hear the mother if she's clearly on scene? How could she not do that? I don't understand it. During high stress situations, your body, when it perceives threats and it's going to go into fight or flight mode, something called tunnel vision occurs. Tunnel vision is another name for peripheral vision loss. It makes it hard or impossible to see objects that aren't directly in front of you. It can be temporary, but it also might permanently change your vision depending on what causes it. That is how they didn't see the mother. Now let's continue, because not only they had to have seen her, but what does he say?
And so they saw her, they heard her. They had a man next to him with all the information, and this is why this is news, in my opinion. They ignored it all.
Okay, so in your opinion, as is the general public, who is now outraged over the fact that the police showed up with no compassion in their heart and they shot a 17-year-old autistic boy, it is impossible that the police didn't see her. Well, we saw that, right? Tunnel vision. We saw that. But they heard her. They heard the mother giving commands. He's autistic. No. They heard a bystander who was also there. The police heard her. It's not possible the police did not hear the information that was given to them, and they willfully ignored it. Auditory exclusion. Auditory exclusion is a stress response where the brain temporarily filters out or reduces the processing of auditory information, often described as tunnel hearing or going deaf under stress. So yeah, it's 100% possible and very likely they didn't hear anything. So you as the public and the media, who's so irresponsible with disseminating this fucking lie of information, they don't see what's going on fully. They don't hear what's going on fully because of the normal human response to stress, just like anybody else out there. Do I want cops to raise their standards? Yes, but I want you public to raise your fucking level of expectational standards on cops as them being human beings. And no, they just can't fight what the normal human body does. So that was, and I'll get into the comment section in a second, and everyone has to say stuff. Again, I did a full breakdown both live and the next day on this shooting. And yeah, you can support it lawfully. And the cops are going to get crucified over it. They really are. But all the wonderful people in the comment section have something to say. I'm going to go over that for a second. But again, I told you phones are open. And again, it's a very casual night. I want to hear what you guys have to say. Yeah, you're live. What's going on?
Hey, this is Sean from Spokane, Washington.
Sean, what's going on, man? What can I do for you?
Hey, got hired by police department out in this region. Start academy in about 3 weeks. We're doing some pre-academy training right now. I just want some advice on how to. I got hired with a group of 7, so I kind of want to distinguish myself amongst the group, but I kind of don't want to come across as a brown nosing cunt during academy.
I
coming in with a little bit of experience.
I saw that in your text message, and my first question response was going to be, "Why do you fucking care?" The last couple of weeks have been really awesome, where I've had people they've text me, "Hey, can you call me?" And I want to know, and they're questions like you a lot. That's why I asked you to call in, because a lot of people want to know if they're going to get into law enforcement, what can they do? And the first thing that I tell them is, you cannot give a fuck about my opinion at all, and that's a standard. It's don't give a shit about anyone's opinion. You said you were in corrections already?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, how many years?
8
yeah,
years.
You've probably got an awesome head on your shoulders already. You know how to deal with people, and you probably have a better ability to talk to people than cops do, because you didn't have any weapons to go to, and you were outnumbered, a ton to 1. So, why don't you give a shit? I put up a post today, and I'm getting a lot of people who are upset with it. I said I fucked around on the job a lot. I put a picture up where somebody took me. I had a stuffed monkey hanging from my crotch, and I'm like, man, I kind of regret those moments. I regret trying to make my buddy laugh on calls. I regret grabbing the big pink purple dildo and wagging it around on calls. I regret that shit, because maybe if I had taken myself more seriously, I would have been a much better cop. And you got to have fun. You got to do this. Got to do that. No, man. Yeah, not on the job like that. And that's just my opinion. And it's one person was like, you probably didn't have any friends on the job. No, I didn't. Thank God, because I didn't want those kind of fucking friends. But you're gonna see that you're gonna alienate yourself the more you try to be a good cop and the more professional you try to be. You're gonna be a kiss ass cunt and all this. But I will guarantee you'll probably outlast everybody, because the goal is, and so many people, myself included, didn't think, where can I take this profession? I mean, I just thought, yeah, I'm going to drive around for the next 20 years and retire. I never thought about climbing the ranks. I never thought about making sergeant or chief. And it really kicked me in the dick a couple of years ago. I found out that my second phase or third phase, FTO, back in 2001, he had 4 years senior to me. He was my FTO. He is retiring as chief of police for our department after 29 years. 29 years for him. Almost 30. Yeah, 30 years for him. And I'm like, fuck. He outlasted all of us. And because he had a vision, because he was professional, because he didn't give a shit about what anybody else thought or the cliques or the groups or this stuff. And he's a chief of police about to retire. So it depends on what you want. I'm not a fan of being part of the group and the guys and this and that shit. That just never was my thing. And
no, that makes sense.
You're going to have to figure it out for you.
Yeah, I would say it's just, I'm leaving a pretty comfy day shift, weekends off gig at the prison with seniority and off of probation. I'm doing this to challenge myself. So
not for nothing.
Maybe overthinking it.
I remember when we first had this conversation, we did talk about this before, didn't we?
No, I'm a first time caller.
Somebody else had this conversation. Same thing. We're talking about leaving the jail, go on the road. What do you expect to find on the road?
I'm doing this to challenge myself. It's going to be the kind of the same culture, but different. That's kind of what I expect.
Okay. This is interesting. What do you expect?
Just going on the road with this department, I expect everybody to hold themselves up to a higher standard and kind of higher expectations. Just, more expected of you.
Oh, okay. That's kind of vague though. What are you hoping to find on the road?
Well, mostly,
yes, let me put it this way. If I'm at the police fire board and I'm going to hire you and I say, why do you want to leave corrections to become a police officer or a sheriff's deputy or whatever you're going to do? Why? What's your answer?
It's because I'm in my late 30s now and I want to challenge myself. I want to look back at my life and be like, you got yourself out of the comfort zone. You did something hard. You didn't stay comfortable. You pursued better training, better opportunities. I don't want to be complacent. I don't want to regret being a pussy with my career choice.
You work in a jail, correct?
Yes, sir.
What are you normally like ratioed corrections to inmates?
Oh, our unit was floating around 220, and there's 3 of us.
220 to 3, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's on your duty belt? What do you get to carry?
We got OC, keys, and cuffs. That's it.
Yeah, how many pairs? And those doors that lock in between you getting your ass kicked when there's 50 people in one. How long do those doors take to buzz and open and get your backup in?
Yeah, not enough. I mean, it's not something we can rely on.
And you think you were going to find something harder on the street as a cop?
Well, I mean, the training's different. I got to operate a vehicle. I got the use of force is different. The contacts are different. The standard just to get hired are much higher. All those
Which
things.
Blows me away. I think every single police officer in the United States should spend a minimum of 2 years in corrections before they even fucking see pavement at all. Yeah, not for nothing. You're going to do what you want to do. To be honest, if you're at 8 years where you're at now, I would sit there and climb the ranks. I would climb the ladder. I would go for command. I would do whatever you're going to do. You're starting, and I'm not going to put doubt in your head, but I'll tell you the reality of it. Now, how old are you?
37.
37. You got wife or kids?
No.
Okay, so you're able to take a risk without jeopardizing them. So what happens?
They're taking my retirement. So I'm actually going on the road. I'm actually going to enter a retirement system that's going to let me retire 7 years quicker than if I stayed at the prison. So, there's benefits and pay.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you last, how long's your probation?
No, I already left. I signed the paperwork. This is happening.
No,
my probation.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I swore in. I swore in a few days ago with the police department.
You have 12 or 18-month probation?
18.
18. So a year and a half. What happens in a year and a half if some sergeant who just doesn't like you at all finds a way to get rid of you, and they could bounce you for anything during probation? You don't write a report the way they want to. You show up 1 minute late to roll call. You just didn't shine your boots properly. General orders, department policy is a giant fuck you book. What happens the day that some command staff maybe you have too much integrity, and they're like, man, you're not the guy who's going to turn his back, when somebody just swipes a candy bar from the local 7-Eleven. You're going to teacher, officer so-and-so stole a candy bar, which is what you're supposed to do. But you do that, and they just don't like you, and you're not part of the system. What are you going to do when they shit can you?
Yeah, no, you're shit out of luck. You're starting over again and losing all your seniority. No, you're right. And that's something I took into account when I chose this department. They seem to have a really good track record with investing in their people and doing what the best they can to get them off probation with the way they do their FTO training.
How big is the department you're going to, size-wise?
350 sworn officers.
And then how big's the correctional facility you're in?
Pretty much the same.
Hey, more power to you. You want to do it. That's awesome. You're taking a risk at 37 years old. Yeah, and you already know what you're doing. You know how to do the job. And not to mention the fact, do you see, like, you're going to the academy with 7 other guys, right?
7 from my department, and there'll be like 35 in the class from other departments. Yeah, the regional one.
What's the average age?
It's looking now that it's in the early 30s. This region of the country is having a tough time getting qualified candidates. They still got that standards high, and just seems like out of the 7 of us, 4 of us are in our 30s.
Yeah, I wish you the best, but at the same time, it's a risk. You're going from something that something that you're good at. You're already established in an agency. You're still law enforcement, is what it is. I mean, you're just not driving a squad car, and you have, the luxury of carrying a pistol because everyone thinks that's cool. So, I mean, if that's good, best of luck to you. Yeah, you giggled a little bit because that's it. Yeah, that's the only difference is I get to carry a gun. That's it.
No, I mean, I'm not really that guy. It was pretty much like, I'm 37 now. What am I going to think of myself when I'm 47?
Yeah, you went 3 versus 250 every single day of the week, and when they were locked up and you were there, you're in jail too. You don't get the luxury of walking somewhere else. You're not going to call Broken Arrow and 30 other squads from the 5 agencies surround you are going to show up. You're lucky if, I don't know if you guys have like any rapid deployment or SORT team shows up and it's 10 more guys who are coming 5 minutes after you're getting your ass beat to you. I don't know. I mean, there's pros and cons for both, but just being your age, and thank God you're not married, otherwise you'd be putting your wife and kids at risk. But you need to make sure. Yeah, if I were you, go back to your original statement. You need to kiss ass, and you need to do everything the right fucking way. You need to be like, fuck everybody else. I don't give a shit. I'm going to survive the next 18 months to get off probation, and you had better think of this as a profession and a career and not just a new challenge. Because if you do that, you're useless and you're fucked.
No, fair enough. No, thanks for the talk. Thanks for the advice. Welcome. Appreciate your work, the work that you do.
Dude, anything you need from me, just let me know. You got my number.
All right, thank you.
All right. 708-982-0974, 708-982-0974. One of the comments I want to go back to here is Steve Kuhn. Steve was given the invite tonight, and of course, he didn't accept the invitation for discussing the autistic teen. Steve Kuhn says, you couldn't be more wrong on this! 3 exclamation points. A reasonable person doesn't see a threat in everyone or everything around them. This is clearly a training issue. They are trained to see a threat, shoot first, and have the taxpayers bail them out later. This is nothing more than... Hang on 1 second, I'll get to you. This is nothing more than poor officers enacted even worse training. The fact that you, meaning me, are trying to justify this as attempted murder is ridiculous. Nobody could justify this nonsense, which I did. And I did justify it. That chain link fence you guys think is so fucking like a big barrier. I would love to orchestrate and reenact that training and have you guys do the same thing. guys, it's okay to say I wasn't a cop. I never did the training. I didn't do this. I was never in this kind of circumstance, but I have an emotional opinion on this, and I'm a fucking idiot. But I'm going to comment anyway. So Steve is one off the list who didn't have the balls to come in tonight and discuss this. Yeah, you're live. What's going on?
I'm actually very happy that you mentioned that right before I called, because that is in part one of the things I wanted to talk about.
Yeah, you want to talk about the shooting?
Well, I partially, I want to talk about that video that you put out on Jonah Hernandez and the stabbing.
That's the 18-year-old with autism, right?
No. That's the officer that was stabbed during a trespassing.
Oh, Jonah hurt. Oh my God. Yeah.
Yes.
I can't, I posted it. I rewatched it. I can't watch it again.
I know. Well, I think that every on-duty officer needs to watch that video 100 times. And they need to sit back and ask themselves 3 questions. They need to ask themselves, are you prepared to be that officer? Because I really think that a lot of, the TikTok cops mainly, they don't understand what the job is. They think that it's like Zootopia and everything's dandy, but the next thing you know, it's just another call and you end up with 12 stab wounds and you bleed out thinking of your family.
Dude, it was ridiculous. That, for those who don't know, you're right, it's Officer Jonah Hernandez. I'm not going to play the video. I saw it once when I was with Sergeant Levine on Two Cops, Freudian slip, Two Cops, One Donut on his YouTube channel, and we watched it, and it was very hard to watch, and I'd forgotten about it, and I played it to make a point. I've been doing knife training in martial arts since '96, so it wasn't like I'm like, no, knives aren't dangerous. I've always known knives are friggin' dangerous, and I've told the story repeatedly about the use of force I was in with a knife and all this shit. But you watch that video, and it's like I can't watch it knowing that, fuck, if he had just known for 2 seconds, even that video, and it's like this guy, Steve Kuhn, who says you couldn't be more wrong. They are trained, cops are trained to see everyone as a threat. 100%. If that, and I don't know, and I'm not shitting on that officer, but what if he had seen his own video, right? Makes no sense. And he had seen, man, this guy could have a knife. You're going to treat everybody as such. And I would rather treat everyone as a threat because it's easier to come down than it is to go up. I went to the academy in 2001, University of Illinois, Champaign-Urbana Police Training Institute. They had us scared of every single fucking call out there. We went to these role play scenario calls. They had, they didn't have simunitions back then, but they had paintball guns that had water in them. The water balls, they fucking hurt. We were not wearing sweatshirts, not padded up. So you got the classical conditioning. And by the time we went to work for our departments, yeah, you got a call. 9272, senior citizen over at the nursing center, can't find her cane. You thought you were going to go there and the bitch was going to have a gun and shoot you. You were that heightened. And over time you leveled out, but I never didn't sit there and keep proximal distance. I never didn't stand bladed on somebody. I didn't angle. I did not angle. I did not walk up and be, hey, let me see your hands. Hey, I know, yeah, you're the victim. Or do me a favor. Let me see your hands. So that shit, I was always what we called, in yellow, in the ready. And it was just, that video, it's horrible. Everybody needs to watch it.
Yeah, it's tragic. If you're an on-duty officer, you need to watch it 10 times. It's horrible, and I can barely stomach to watch it once, but it's the job. You need to. It's not. You don't get the luxury of the ignorance of not being able to see it. And that brings me to the second question you need to ask yourself after watching that is, are you prepared to do everything in your power to avoid being that officer? Are you willing to put in the training? Are you willing to put in the work? And the third question is how. So, because you need to. You don't, as a law enforcement officer, you do not have the luxury of being retired on duty. You don't have the luxury of expecting every call to just be another trespass, just be another, perfect example. You are the best example to give. I've encountered them a couple of times, cancel backup. It's just another confrontation with this individual. Next thing you know, you have a paring knife in your face.
Yep. Yeah. But the balance comes in this, right? How do you, and I said this the other day because my expectation standards, a lot of people don't get that I expose my own hypocrisy because I love the profession so much. I want these cops to be better than me. People are like, dude, you're just criticizing these other cops and you're posting a picture of you with a monkey up in your crotch. Yeah, because I don't want them to fuck up the way I did. So how do we raise our standards and say, as a cop, you have to have the mindset that you are willing. you're willing. And it's a horrible, like, it's a horrible thing to have, right? Commander Laycock was one of my first commanders. And the first day we got our pistols, I checked in for duty. It was my first day before I went to the academy, and they gave us our equipment, and he has these 2 Glock boxes, and he opens it up, and it's a Glock 45 model 21. And it's like, and I'd never held a gun before. So here it is, my issue duty. I get to go home with it, all this shit, blah, blah. And he says, shooting people is a good thing when they need to be shot, and you need to accept that. And that was my introduction into firearms. And I was like, all right, I have to meditate on what this means. How do we balance cops going to work that day? Every day you get in your squad car and you say, I am fully prepared to take a life if lawfully necessary to keep the peace and maintain order in free society and to protect life of someone else or myself. And then how do you counterbalance? And you pray every day, I hope to God that never happens. And you go through your career, hopefully not. But then how do you balance the young, aggressive people who have never even been in a fucking fight before? We call it tasting pennies. They've never tasted pennies. You get punched in the mouth and you taste your own blood and you get that copper taste. It's like they've never had that, and they're out there looking for it. They're looking for the fucking fight. How do you balance that aggression versus being aggressive and ready to kill lawfully and righteously and hoping you never do? And that's the problem that we have. That's a big problem that we have in law enforcement.
Yeah, I think that's one of the top 3. Well, thank you. I do have my true question. I did want to tap on that real quick because I felt like that needed to be said. So my question to you for the week is, where is the line between reasonable fear and excessive force when an officer's life isn't directly threatened?
So you see the video I critiqued the other day of the Harris County Sheriff? And
yes.
I mean, that I don't know if that's sparking your question, but it's like that kind of sums it up. You at what point? I think we have such a piss poor shit quality of cop on the street, and I don't think it's a few bad apples anymore. I think the orchard is rotten, and our standards are so low, and the public, well, the guy shouldn't have resisted, and you're like, you have to remove that people who are going to resist are unreasonable to begin with. They've got a mental chemical imbalance. They're probably drugged up or fucking drunk, and they're impaired. So that's going to be a factor in it. The second thing is, how many cops out there? You heard the cop who's on top of him, the fat one. Fuck you, motherfucker. And he's getting personal because he's losing the fight, because he's a fat, out of shape piece of shit who is losing a fight as a cop, and then the fucking broad comes up who doesn't even know how to open up cuffs. And I think that right there, that's a failure to train, and that may answer your question. I think how you solve that problem is you train. You literally train. And I was not proficient with firearms. Like, you will never see me discuss other than more than a general shooting, you'll never see me critique tactics far of like anything that's really firearms detailed, because it's not my passion. It's not my forte. And to fucking hit the target, I had to be like right up on top of it. I was fucking great with my hands and mouth, but I was horrible with my pistol. And the standard should have been, well, if you don't pass 100%, you shouldn't be a fucking cop. But it wasn't. It was pass or fail. But I used to dry fire. I used to sit there in my living room, watch TV, and I'd dry fire my Glock, an hour, 2 hours, just to try to get it. And I never got comfortable with it. But maybe if I'd spent more time at the range, do what I should do as a professional police officer, maybe I would have been more proficient in that. Same thing with fitness. Same thing with tactics. Cops go to use of force training every year to recertify in baton, handcuffing, OC, and it's just to shield a chief from liability when they misuse that force. Well, we passed them off. They passed training. We've got the documentation. But they all fuck around when they go to training. 90% of cops who go to training, they don't take it seriously. They fuck around. So if we're not taking fitness seriously, if we're not taking training seriously, it answers your question. When they go on scenes, they're already defeated in their mind. Their force is going to be excessive because they're losing the fight. They're losing the fight. I showed an example of an Arkansas state trooper pulled a guy over. The guy didn't stop because he had his music blaring and he didn't see the lights or hear the sirens. He traveled for 60 seconds, pulled over on the side of the road. She goes right up to the car, tries to rip him out. And the guy's like, what the fuck? And he's struggling. 6 minutes. It's a 6 fucking minute fight. And she has to go to her pistol because she's getting her ass kicked. And everyone's all applauding her. Why? Because we lowered the standards to have a female on the street who we allow her to escalate that force. And maybe that's her mindset. I'm a female. I can use that to my advantage and I can kill people. Whereas a guy would have to arm bar or fucking, God, I wish the guy we could do the rear naked choke. It should be used on every fucking call. But that should answer your question.
The public supports that. The public supports that.
Yeah.
Right, because that's one of the things that you've talked about, right? Oh, they're women. They get different standards, and that's part of the problem. But I think that your message for this channel sums it up perfectly. It's not just a cop problem. It's not a fucking training problem. It is a cultural problem. You can plant as many damn apple trees as you want and water it every day. If the soil is fucking infertile, you're never going to get anywhere. You need to rip up the whole damn plot and start from zero, start from the base, because that is what's wrong. I mean, I agree. The behavior is learned. You get in, you want to be a good officer in a fucked system. Eventually you realize the only way to get anywhere is to join the fucking fun. I mean, that's the end of that's end. And then you let yourself go with my own standards and you end up having to shoot someone when you could just put them in a damn arm bar because you can't handle yourself physically.
Dude, where I sat there and I kind of like, went, holy shit. I assisted the agency north of us in like 2015. They were chasing somebody. I went up there. I ran 2 blocks and running, that's being generous. I trotted 2 blocks and I think I was 42 and I was fucking huffing and puffing going, dear Lord, if we go hands on right now, I'm going to have a heart attack. I was out of shape. Because I was complacent and, nothing, I'm not going to, people see me, I walk up, yes, I'm built, I make sure that my sleeves are tailored, then a medium to make me look bigger, I shine my boots, I have the fucking nonstop asshole look on my face, and that's the command presence right there. They're not going to fuck around, because they will find out. Well, if that find out goes off longer than 15 seconds, I'm fucked. And I started to really be embarrassed of it. So yeah, the culture is where, you're lazy, you're retired on duty, and it just breeds contempt for the profession.
Yeah, I agree with you. Well, thank you for your time. I'll let you go so you can
I
get to it.
appreciate
I know
that.
you have a lot of stuff to cover.
Appreciate that. Guys, 708-982-0974. If you call, I will call you back. 708-982-0974. I did want to get into some of these. We'll see where tonight goes. We always are casual on Wednesdays. This is all about you guys.
Hello?
Hey, sorry I missed your call. I was on the other line. What's going on? We're live.
Gotcha. So I was wondering, there was a lackluster video that came out not too long, like a few days ago, and it was about the Delaware state police or state troopers, and the guy was working for Lyft. He was in Lyft. And he had a dash cam that was showing his speed, like how fast he was traveling. And it was going around 60 to 70 miles an hour. I think 72 was his average speed. But when he got pulled over by a state trooper, the trooper accused him of going 103 miles an hour. And it was like just a blatant lie, right? I guess when you might know, like, how can they tell the speed of a person going?
You're supposed to have, being pulled over is frustrating. It's really frustrating as a citizen because you have your word against a cop's, and the cop's word is always going to be taken. You can literally, so it's like, and I didn't see the Lackluster video. It was awesome. I did have Lackluster on a podcast. He was gracious enough to give me, like an hour and a half of his time a couple months ago. But shameless plug, you guys can find it on our YouTube channel. The easiest way to deal with it, and I don't know what the outcome was, is if there is that dash cam that can be screenshot and proven, well, you fight it in court. But you're supposed to have a tuning fork that's 30 miles an hour, 50 miles an hour. You hold, and the technology may have changed. You hit the tuning fork and then you hold it up against the radar and you're in perfect sync. Your radar says, oh, it's 35 miles an hour. And they're supposed to be checked every start of a shift. If you share a squad car with another cop, they come in, they do the same thing. So it's calibrated. And I believe they're maintained and they're checked by the state maybe once or twice a year. But it's frustrating. Hey, I saw you swerve over the yellow line. Officer, no, I didn't. Yes, you did. Step out of the car. It's a fucking, it's a losing battle, and it sucks. And it really does suck, and I can't stand it. To be honest, a very big way, and you see people, I love this one. Get the people who think that the counter to what I'm about to propose is, well, it's expensive to store that much footage when we're sending billions of dollars to other countries for their fucking wars. The solution to traffic stops run amok is 24/7 live feed from the perspective of the officer. You have 24/7 body camera footage, 24/7 dash cam footage, streaming live while a cop is on duty. And that's it. And the amount of people who are in such fucking uproar over that. No, you can't do that. Hey, what about privacy? What about this? What about, you want to solve problems? This way, when you get a cop saying, hey, I didn't see you change lanes or didn't say you were wearing a seatbelt. Well, the people who now love to watch live everything, well, you can have let's just say Aurora Police Department, Colorado. Well, Aurora Police Department, now their Facebook page says, hey, it's midnight shift, 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. is when the officers work. Starting lineup for tonight, just like your Chicago Bulls, is officer so-and-so, 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 and it gives a bio, all this stuff, and they update this every shift. And then you can choose which officer you want to watch their feed. And you'll get fucking 1,000 people watching because people are addicted to watching live shit. And then you're going to see maybe 500 people out of that see, no, I didn't see him use his turn signal. Well, I did. And the comment section is going to be all used for shit. So to be honest, the way to truly solve the problem between police interactions and traffic stops would be live feed. And if the integrity was sound and if it was fucking 100% perfect, I think you'd get far less resisting on traffic stops. People, what'd you pull me over for? What are your speed? I wasn't. It'll be like, no, I'll just go back and check the Facebook page or later on. And then you'd see the shit that was going on. So that is my solution, and a lot of people don't fucking like it.
Yeah. It's just, to me, the blatant dishonesty, because lackluster included the dash cam. And you could see not the speedometer, but like the dash cam has like a GPS built into it, and it'll show you, I think it was miles per hour.
Look at it this way, too. You ever rub your eyes when you're tired?
Mm-hmm.
And you rub your eyes and you're tired, and you look at your clock, if anybody still has a clock on their nightstand, and the numbers look different. You're going to tell me, depending upon what time of day, how long this cop has been working, doesn't rub his eyes for 2 seconds, and the dash cam says 73, but he goes, oh, it's 103. And then it literally, the dash cams they don't have a delay. Like maybe they have a second delay. If you lower your speed, it lowers your speed. So you may have been going 103, right? The driver?
Yep.
But when he hits the brakes and he goes and stops all the way down to like 73, it's going to be in real time. So if he sees it for 103 and he doesn't lock it in, because if a second goes by, he doesn't lock it in, because you got to hit that button. No whammies, no whammies, no whammies, stop. Well, you're fucked. So I saw him doing 103. I observed him doing it. It is your word against the cops, and I'm going to tell you flat out. I remember exactly where I was. I was going eastbound on Rollins Road on afternoons, and there was a gang member in a car in front of me. I wanted to pull over. It was full daylight. It was back in early 2002, and I could clearly see through his windows because none of them were tinted, and he had a seatbelt on. And for 5 fucking seconds, I will admit this, I went, well, I really don't see a seatbelt on. And my finger was on that button. And I told myself, you start here, you'll never fucking come back. And I didn't stop him. Because that's how easy it was. Could have been his word against mine, and I would have won. And that was a huge moment for me where I'm like, dude, you're about to become a fucking scumbag. Don't do it. And I didn't do it. So, but it's insane how easy it is for people to do it.
Gotcha. Yeah, and that's kind of I wish there was because the case he hasn't went to court yet. It's not due until April 30th or something. Well,
that's the great things. That's the great things about like Lackluster and everybody else, because now if this guy sees it, and I'm sure he's seen Lackluster's video, how much evidence is that to go to court? And here's the problem: if it is found that this cop willfully lied, he needs to be criminally charged. None of this shit stops. Would you agree that if he was not going 103 and he was stopped, that was an illegal seizure, right? Violation of the Fourth Amendment?
100%.
That cop needs to spend 2 years in federal prison. No, stop suspending them. Stop allowing them to resign and go to another department. If we're in a big day and age of Big Brother, and, it's like you got Chili DeCastro. He's a fucking moron, but he does put up good content. You got the guys like Lackluster, phenomenal content. Sean Reyes, phenomenal content. They are actually exposing so much shit out there that needs to be used as evidence.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, when I think about having like a police officer charged, like I actually kind of get, how can I say, like sad, like I don't want to charge them for a crime.
Mm-hmm.
But when I see stuff like that, I mean, the dash cam in his car is recording the whole time he's driving.
What else is there to do? I mean, if we don't start criminally charging cops, we hold ourselves to a higher standard. No, you don't. You're about to ruin that guy on scene for a disputed speed. Could have been killed by the police. It could have escalated all the way up to his death. And you get out of the car. No, I don't. Turn around. No, I don't. Blah blah. Use of force escalates, all for fucking misjudgment and speeding. And there's a lot of shit I don't agree with traffic laws, and I think there's a lot of ways they're massively unconstitutional. And I'm not talking sovereign citizen shit. But it blows me away. So I mean, I appreciate the call, and I hope that answers your question today.
Yeah, it does. Thank you very much.
All right, man. 708-982-0974, 708-982-0974, 805, giving you a call next.
Hello.
Hey, sorry I missed your call. You're live. What's going on?
Hey, not too much, man. Want to give a shout out. You ran a story of mine. I was captured a video. I was arrested for speaking loudly on my property.
That was you? That was you?
This is me. This is me, man.
Holy shit. Let me pull that up for a second.
Lackluster did a hell of a one. It's arrested for speaking loudly, I think, on Lackluster.
He covered yours too?
No, he did a phenomenal one.
Come on, man. Tell me mine was better.
It was, and it yours was right away. And as you probably know, this shit's pretty crazy when it happens.
Here it is. For those who are wondering, this is police abuse of power in Trigg County. Time for real accountability. A simple parking complaint in Trigg County, Kentucky, turned into a display of police overreach by Sheriff Deputy Sergeant Schneider from the Trigg County Sheriff's Department in Kentucky. This video exposes abuse of authority. Do you mind if I play like a little bit of it so we can kind of catch people up to speed?
Man, go right ahead. I appreciate it.
Oh, I'm doing a lot of talking over it, but all right, let's.
No, and I've shared your comment. I mean, you made some stellar points.
Yeah, you were on a construction site. You're on a construction site
I'm
here.
on my own property. I just moved here, and I was I had my friend from Wisconsin come down to Port Lopez to put a propane tank on, and it borders my neighbor's property. And we've been having a neighbor dispute for 2 years. My dad's been living here in a camper trailer, and he didn't like him living on the camper trailer. So, but yeah, go ahead and play this video and. Let your audience see it if you want.
Yeah, I'm going to play the part where, let's see, this is where you're on your property doing construction, and apparently the sergeant's justification was that the homeowners association was complaining.
And we don't even have one.
Which would be a civil complaint then.
Yeah, it was over a parking. I had a gooseneck trailer parked up in the cul-de-sac, and on the gravel, where the Army Corps tells me I have to park, doing everything that I was told to. I had a deputy out 3 weeks before that was awesome. Trigg County. We talked for an hour. I kind of posted that on my Facebook page too. This county's going fucking nuts right now, man. It is insane the shit they're pulling.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can pull this up where I'm not on this. Here's the video. I'm going to play this. I can't believe this is you. This is hilarious. Hey, I appreciate this.
I've been trying to call it. Yeah. No worries.
Yeah, I'm going to play this. Here we go.
You're trespassing. I'm asking you to leave.
I am talking to you.
Get off my property.
Now you don't have to.
Get off my property.
Now,
Get off my property.
Keep screaming. You're
Get off! I'm not in public.
Yes, you're at public. Put your hands behind
I'm in private.
Put your hands behind
Matt, record this.
Put your feet.
This is
Johnny,
excessive force.
Johnny, just calm down, buddy.
Excessive force.
Just calm down.
I am not resisting, Officer Deputy Snyder. You just.
Now, he put himself in harm's way by coming up to you, went on your property. He had no lawful authority to be there. It's a homeowners association, apparently, that they complained. That's a civil complaint. No homeowners. He should, if anything, he should have escorted a representative of the homeowners association to come up to you and say, hey, Mr. So-and-so, you shouldn't be doing this today. And it's them, not you. He's standing there to keep the peace. I don't see a single person outside. So the yelling, which would be, what's that?
This is in the fucking middle of nowhere. We're in the country.
Well, I see neighbors.
I just so happen to have a lot line that's next to a house, so it looks like a suburb. We're not. We are country.
So who's alarmed and disturbed? Who's the disorderly? What did he end up charging you with?
Nobody. Disorderly conduct.
You can't be alarmed and disturbed. Yeah, he can't be alarmed and disturbed if he's a cop.
He can't be the victim. And what you don't see is he starts violently shaking me when he starts putting me in cuffs.
Oh, I saw it. You were on the ground. Oh yeah, we saw it.
Yeah, but you can't see it on his. But anyways, he starts shaking me. So that's when that raises my fucking mood up real quick.
I'm not gonna lie, I fucking love the fact you made him work for it. You just went limp.
Hell yeah.
You just went limp and like, put me in the car. Put me in the car. Fucking beautiful.
And it's a crazy little treacherous little stretch you wanted to drag me across. I just had a hip replacement. I have to watch my steps. I really fucking do.
Did he tase you? And, he's got the taser on your chest.
No, he never tased me. If you look at my video, my buddy Matt,
watching you.
He says, "Come on, man," and he stares up at the fucking sky and changes his mind there. He was gonna tase me.
Did you go to court for this yet?
Yeah, they're still pending. The town's fucking corrupt as all fuck. It is nuts. They follow me around the courthouse all day long every time I go there.
Please tell me you're going to sue the living shit out of him.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, if you've got like lackluster, because he's much calmer than I am. Well, you could take, because I'm a former law enforcement retired, you could take my video and his and present that as evidence and have their side just completely negate, which they won't be able to do, this shit. And this cop violated your civil rights. This cop belongs in jail.
Oh, big time. And so here's the crazy part is, so I'm on SS. I'm a young fucking man. I'm only 44, but I've been to live anywhere. And so they give me a public defender to deal with. They fire the first guy. He disappears from the county. They ended up giving me the head guy that's been in it the fucking longest, brought him out of nowhere. They have hired, from what he tells me, is an investigator for the prosecutor, because something doesn't smell right with this guy. And the actual sheriff of Trigg County has been convicted of misdemeanors while he was fucking some prostitute using the company credit card to go to a motel room. They caught on to it. She ended up breaking into his house. He kidnapped her, took her out to the fucking woods, beat the shit out of her, and then got caught doing all this. He's still fucking sheriff, but now he's on the Brady list with the prosecutor, so he can't testify or anything. And
how are you still allowed to be a cop if you're on the Brady list? I never understood that. It blows me away. We were terrified. You get caught in a lie, you're on the Brady list, and you're a liar. Yep. You can never testify. But there's a very, very famous one who's got a big YouTube channel who pulls people over and people love it. He's on the Brady list. Can't testify. It's like, fuck? I don't know.
Well, that's where this guy is going, because so when all this happened, shit was going down on the radio. The chief of police came to the Sally Port and had to intervene. He knew this guy was fucking going rogue on me. I was screaming in the back and shit. So he came, protected me. I posted that whole body camera on my Facebook page. I can give you a link. if you need it. Sheriff fucking completely fabricates the whole story on body camera. He doesn't know he's on it. And this
he had no idea he was being recorded. You just record this on your iPhone or something?
Nope. Well, at this time, he thinks I was faking it. So on the body camera footage from the chief of police, he's going, oh, the guy was holding his phone up in the air. So he doesn't really think I'm recording. And I waited a day to post a video just because I knew he was going to have to write his report. He was going to have to lie like a son of a fucking bitch.
That's smart. When did this happen?
February 6th, I believe.
It blows me away that the state hasn't seen this and gone, yeah, we're going to drop all charges.
I think they have. They've got thousands of phone calls, from to the sheriff's department. Sheriff's department has blocked, hundreds of people apparently. When people are calling into the sheriff's department, they're fucking, what do they call it, boxing them or whatever. They're calling them back on a blocked number, harassing the people that are calling to complain. It's fucking nuts. This is such a freaking crazy town.
I hope you, well, number one, there's no way in hell that this should be even remotely allowed to go forward. This cop needs to go to jail. You need to sue. And I do hope that when you get a big fat paycheck, you'll consider supporting Cop Talk Live.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, times are tough right now, but absolutely. You were one of the first person to share the story, and people shared it to me. I'd never watched your show, I got to be honest, and that night I was like, holy shit, this guy's fucking on fire.
It pissed me off. It pissed me off. And yeah.
You can probably hear it in my voice. It works me up so fucking bad.
You were kidnapped. You were fucking kidnapped.
He dislocated my hip, bro.
I kind of want to
day in the hospital.
I want to point something out that people don't understand. And this is the one thing that I did a what do you call it? I did a video yesterday where I talked about cops where they only pick on the weak. And I showed several cases of, dropping a 20-year-old kid, 70-year-old man, a 70-year-old woman in a bathroom, guy handcuffed to a gurney, all this. And then I found 3 videos, steroided up older guy, well, just describe myself, right? Who's in a bank. Cops just, oh, sir, don't come near me. He allows them to take him in handcuffs. The Navy SEAL, 7 county deputies who they tried to calm him down, de-escalate. And then the 6-foot giant behemoth who's on the side of the road with like 5 cops, and they wouldn't do anything. So it's like, I kind of want to get your viewpoint on, you're frustrated. And because people already know that they're going to lose. Can you describe what it feels like where it's one cop, and if it's one-on-one, if I show up, and I'm a civilian and I get in your face on your property, we're fighting, it's equal. But can you talk about what it feels like knowing you literally cannot defend yourself and you are about to be kidnapped for fucking nothing? In that moment, you're not a free American anymore. Can you talk about the mentality of what that felt like, knowing that if you laid your hand?
Yeah, it happened so quick, and I'm not a cop hater. I'm not. If you watch some of my videos on Facebook, I record them. I'm not, going out and doing the auditing or anything like that. But I have good conversations with them. When it happened, like I said, the second he put me in cuffs, he started shaking me. And I'm in a lot of pain. I'm chronic pain sufferer. So this kind of triggers me, and it sits me into a fight or fleet. But I'm handcuffed. There's nothing I can do at this point, And so I'm compliant, but God, the feeling was helpless. I mean, it was, I'm a fucking grown man. In my head, I knew I could beat the living shit out of this motherfucker.
Here's the problem. Your state, are you allowed to carry in your state?
So here's my problem. I have an F from 20 years ago on my record, so I don't.
Okay, so let's just, you're average Joe citizen, you're on your property, you're armed, yep. A police officer, sheriff shows up, you are illegally seized. At what point And I'm bringing this up for conversation's sake, according to the Constitution and the right for people to defend their own liberty. At what point are you allowed to draw your pistol and act in self-defense as for your Second Amendment right against domestic terrorists?
In this state, immediately, it's a right to defend your state. I'm new to the state, so I'm learning all this as we go, but it is a right to defend. So if I was just carrying, I could have blown this fucking brains on my neighbor's yard.
The problem is would we have, and I don't want that to happen. I don't want that to happen. I don't think you do either. But the point being is at what point do American citizens start holding their ground when they know it lawfully, you cannot be the victim in disorderly conduct. There is no complainant here. There's no, all the evidence lines up. There's no homeowners association. You're lying.
It's his ego. So what you don't see is 10 minutes before he came down, and I simply asked him for his name and ID number. And he says, it says sheriff right there on the car, and points and immediately pops an attitude. So I said, well, I don't talk to cops. And he says, well, I'm here. You're going to talk to me. I said, have a great day. And I walked away. That fucking triggered him. So he didn't have his body camera on, or it's not submitted in evidence. He knew he was going to do this. And there's no doubt in my mind. He drove down there, knew he wanted to arrest me, and he was going to trigger me. Because he comes up, oh, now you're talking, and that's when I start recording. So, he pushed my buttons. Dirty fucking cop. Dirty fucking mother cop.
It blows me away. And it's 2025, and we still have cops who are this fucking stupid that the light turns red and they're blind and they violate the constitutional rights. I really, really, really appreciate you calling in. I'd love to do follow-ups on your story. I'd love to hear more about it. Just, can you keep me updated? Sure. Please call me, text me.
I've been watching your show every Wednesday. So yeah, I'll keep you posted next time we go.
Wait real quick. Is there any way anybody you donating for your attorney fees or anything? Do you have a link or anything?
We're right there. I haven't asked for anything yet, just because I think I got a pretty good public pretender. We're going to see where it goes. Like I said, I'll keep you posted. If you guys want to check out my Facebook page. Everything on here I've been keeping public. So
what is your Facebook page?
Yeah, it's John John comes spelling Arnoldson ARNOLD.
JOHN. Last name again, please.
Arnoldson, Arnold, and then USSEN. And then my profile will have
ASSEN. Arnold Essen.
USSEN. So Arnold USSEN.
Okay. Yep. Got you right here. Following you. Guys, if you're looking on social media, this is it. Yeah, if you need anything to wind up posting for defense attorney, let us know and we'll share your stuff.
Yeah, I appreciate it. And one thing I am kind of looking for comment for is he's clear violation on company policy. Obviously, they're not being transparent at all, giving me their company policy or any of my Freedom of Information Acts. I need to nail this guy down on my complaint. Should I wait and be thorough? Should I, any recommendations where I go on my complaint? Because they're supporting them.
When you go to sue, you mean?
No, I just want to put a thorough complaint on his, background with the sheriff's department.
Get a hold of me, send me a text later on. And you know what, during the week, let's look at what you could do. I want to find out exactly what you need to do. And if I could point you in the right direction, I will.
I appreciate it.
You're welcome. I appreciate you calling in. Thank you.
Oh yeah. Thanks, man.
All right. Take care. All right, guys, go check that out. A lot of calls. I'm going to get to you guys, I swear. Damn, phone blew up. Holy cow. I know I said I would call. All right, here we go. Chicago, got to call you next. I did want to talk about the comment section today.
Please state your name after the tone, and Google Voice will try to connect you.
Dominic Izzo. (708-982-097). I got a lot of people to call back tonight. 872. I tried. Sorry. 469. 469. Give me a call back.
Hey, Dominic.
Hey, what's going on, man? What can I do for you?
Hey, man, I got to tell you, I love your show for one thing, but look, I'm 55 fucking years old, and I remember a time, okay, back in the day down here in Texas, I'm from the DFW area, that cops and judges actually respected the damn Constitution, okay? I remember that, cops would be called over a gripe or a grievance. And they were like, look, I can't do anything about this. You got to take that up in civil court or whatever. Nowadays, it seems like cops want to be involved in every single aspect, like sand in your toes and crack of your ass when you go out on the beach now.
Yeah, go ahead.
I love the way you approach this situation, man, because
it's simple. You want to know the answer to your question? You're 55, right?
Yeah.
Where'd you grow up? What area?
Dallas.
Okay, Dallas. Can you explain, picture yourself, 6th grade. What would happen in 6th grade if you got into a shoving match outside during recess? What happens? Go back to that. You had to be, 80, 81?
Yeah, we'd go back to junior high school. The coach would come in there and handle the shit.
Okay, but what would you do first? What between the students, what would happen?
What do you mean? If there was a shoving match, a disagreement, and it got physical?
Oh, there you go. It got physical, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the point is we've seen that our generation was the last generation that was allowed to sit there, and we all know what happens. You get bullied in high school or whatever, you beat the shit out of each other, and then your bully respects you, you guys become friends. That's gone. Now you have, and I said this, I started, after I got done with wrestling, I coached, and then I got into martial arts, and then I went to a 4 a.m. bar. We got in fights every fucking night of the week, and I loved it. I have short man's disease. I'm 5'7" on a good day, and it's like I love to fucking fight. And when I got to be a cop, I got that shit out of my system. It's like, okay, this being a cop is not a fucking fight because you always win. You literally, this guy is going to be in handcuffs or he's going to die. It's that simple. And you're going to get the pig pile and the backup. It's so fucking one-sided and it's unfair. And for me, there was no thrill, right? But what you have now is you have a generation of cops who are looking to start shit. So
right,
we just like the last caller. It's a civil complaint, but I'm looking to jack you up. So you'll raise your voice, you'll yell, you do something. Now I have the excuse to go hands-on because these fucking cops have never been in a fight before. Bashing someone's head off the ground, cranking up their arms to put them in handcuffs, all this shit, hurting them is not a fucking good thing. But we have a slew of children who have never done it that they're actually looking to escalate things just so they can fucking throw a hand. That's what the problem is.
I don't know, but it is a societal problem. It really is. Where now cops show up, people call the cops for the dumbest, stupid shit, and put cops in bad situations, but expect them, like you have so eloquently explained, you want them to be the judge and the jury and to decide all, okay? Well, man, you know what? Down here in Texas, we have something called mutual combat. You can look it up if you want to and read. It's 22.06. That's the code. And that's where two people in agreement actually mix it up like we did back in the day in high school and junior high school. And guess what? Everything was settled and we walked away. But now they want the fucking cops to come in and regulate their life and just take control of every situation. And so I guess, like what you've been saying, people are pussified, man, in the society today.
Yeah, they are.
They are.
Yeah,
they want somebody else with a badge and a gun to fucking show up and take care of business. And sometimes you're on the wrong end of that fucking badge and gun.
I say it all the time. We had, I was blown away. We had a new guy start with us in like 2013, and we were all at lunch one day. And there's like 5 of us, just eating in the roll call room. And he just goes, man, I can't wait to get my first fight. And we're all like, the fuck is wrong with you? Why would you admit that out loud, number one? We had another, the neighboring town next of us. It was New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, evening. And there's a big melee on the side of the road, 12 people fighting. It's like 2 a.m. We go up there and everyone did what they had to do. And we're in the Sally ports, you got fucking 5 or 7 squad cars just taking turns dumping people off. And one of this town's new rookie female officers, that was fucking awesome. We kicked ass. Shut the fuck up. We're audio and video recorded right now. Why are you bragging about this? The fuck is wrong with you? Yeah, it's a youth thing. It's a different time. It's so weird being a guy. I love fighting, but at the end of it, I don't like hurting people, if that makes sense. It sucks.
Well, I got to say, I understand where you're coming from, and at the same time, but that mentality back in the day when I was younger, I had cops show up before and go, hey, we can't do anything about this, It's like, okay, this is what drives me fucking crazy to see, dude. It's like, we have a constitution. All right, we have a First Amendment right. But, back in my day, when you would just get frustrated and say, get away from me or I'll kill you.
Oh, you can't say that today?
Now you say that, no shit, that's a terroristic threat. And it doesn't matter what age you are, your ass is going to fucking jail. And it's like, really? Really? I told him, you see what I'm saying? So the Constitution has been walked all over, where before cops would show up and say, he said what? Okay, did he do anything? Nope, ain't a damn thing we can do. And then, that was it. Call us when he does something. Then we can do that. And that goes with today, that people don't understand, or a lot of people don't understand that, look, cops show up after the crime is committed. Right? Mm-hmm. They show up after an actual crime is committed. But people want them to show up to stop a so-called crime and have redefined the Constitution of the United States, your First Amendment, Second Amendment, all the way down, to where they want the cops to be the judge and jury. I
say it all the time, and this was said the other day. If it was George Floyd, who was on the opposite side of a chain link fence, had a knife in his hand, everybody would be sitting there celebrating that there was a dead black guy, and they would be all applauding, going, well done. Well, the public is generally ignorant when it comes to use of force, and they're bloodthirsty. They're a fucking mob. It is what it is.
Well, I love what you do, man. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
For the podcast that you do there.
Thank you for taking the time out to call in. I appreciate that. Thanks.
Take care, Hoss.
All right, so guys, I got a lot to call back. I'm going to do my best to get back to you guys in order here. Call again. It's 872, giving you one more shot.
Hello. Please state your name after the tone, and Google Voice will try to connect you.
Trying to call you live. Guys, 708-982-1974. Nash M. I'm a popular topic at your PD. I hope that's a good thing. Can you hear? You got a lot of background noise.
Yeah, I'm in the gym.
All right, well, you got a lot of background noise. We can't even hear you.
Sorry, can you hear me now?
No, you got to call back at another time, man. Sorry.
All right, brother.
All right, sorry. I'd love to talk to you, but you got a lot of background noise. All right, 510, calling you.
You got to call back another time, man. Sorry. Hello?
Yeah, just lower the background and you're live. What's going on?
Oh, what's going on? Yeah, I'll lower that. What's going on? You there?
Yeah, I'm here. What's going on, dude? You're live.
Hey, Angel, how you doing? Sorry for the mix-up, my man, but going back to that Idaho with the 4 cops being autistic kid.
Yeah, tell me your thoughts.
Reminds me of the similar situation in San Francisco, 4 cops and one guy with a sword, where they were forced to kind of shoot him, and that kind of like changed how we handle situations like that in my department.
Are you active law enforcement?
No, I'm retired from Northern California. Yes, living in Idaho now.
Oh wow! Are you anywhere near that shooting with the?
Oh yeah, I'm not far away. Yeah, not far away at all.
What's
I'm in Eagle, Idaho.
So you're former law enforcement. What are your thoughts on that shooting? I want to hear your thoughts on the shooting.
And my thoughts, like I had a chief once say that, law enforcement gets ugly. It was a bad situation where you had not the parents calling because I think that would have changed when you have someone just saying a drunk guy with a knife. I mean, when you're going to that call, you know, it's going to be, you don't know what you're really getting except for a guy with a knife. And when you're showing up to that situation, when I was still working, you know, after that San Francisco call, when we're en route to a call like that, we're already figuring out with the other officers who's going to have less lethal, who's going to have the taser, who'll have lethal, who's going to be doing the talking. And it would have been handled completely different. But again, our training was set for that. So I don't know what their training is. I don't know if they carry less lethal or if they have tasers or what the case might be. But, you know, it was just a really bad situation, unfortunately.
It was, but, and you have to go off the totality of the circumstances and what they knew at the time. Apparently, the only information they knew is two males were fighting in talks and one had a knife. And people, go ahead.
And when it comes to, you know, calls with, you know, where you have mental health and a parent, we got to the point where if they stabbed the parent, that's on them, man, because, you know, we got kind of tired of, you know, cops overreacting, coming into, you know, gung-ho and trying to get the situation handled instead of like, they pretty much wanted us to give these people a big hug and kiss before we did anything.
Yeah, and the problem is the one thing that I have a problem with is everybody talks about the fence being a barrier, but nobody's taking into consideration that there were still people within the fence. It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
if that kid, the guy turned, you still have to pump rounds in him before he jumps and lunges and slashes someone else. So there's a lot of, I think lawfully, excuse me, you can defend the shooting, but a lot of people, cops should be trained better. They shouldn't get tunnel vision. They shouldn't get auditory exclusion. Good fucking luck. Good luck.
Yeah, good luck. You know, and I've been in similar calls where it was a Karen calling and it ended up being something completely different. I almost got a guy that pointed a 40-ounce can at me because he had a gun and wanted to kill me.
It blows me away. People will say somebody's got a gun. You show up, it's a shoe.
Oh, geez. You would not believe. When he turned around and the guy was deaf after the call, you know, the guy turns around and I'm holding him at gunpoint. I'm like, drop the gun. Turns around, mumbles, and lifts a 40-ounce can of beer at me. And I puckered up, man. And luckily I know, okay, it's not a gun. And I was like, oh my gosh. And to add to it, when they went to interview the RP, oh, well, I never saw a gun, but I thought maybe he said he had a gun.
People will never understand. The caller isn't always right. You get, my God, my house is on fire. You go up and, well, no, the neighbor had a barbecue and I saw smoke. Yeah. Holy shit. Hey, I appreciate the call.
Dude, no worries, man. Sorry about the mix-up earlier, man.
No, you're fine. Thank you so much. Appreciate that.
All right, bye.
All right, 708-982-0974. Guys, look at the link in the comment section and support the channel. Go ahead and buy my book or, what do you call it? Donate. Cop Talk Live on PayPal. (312). I'm giving you a call.
Leave a message after the.
I'm going to let you know I tried calling. Izzo. Guys, the best thing I have is I'm literally using a phone and I'm trying to call you back here. Let's see. Okay. What is this? 309 giving you a call. Yeah, police brutality matters. 708-982-0974. 708-982-0974.
Your call has been forwarded.
Guys, I see a ton of you called. I'm trying to call you back, but let me give one more. Police brutality over on Instagram. If you want to call in, please do. Let's see. And
hey, Dominic.
I'm giving you a call, Chris. 314, calling you now.
Hello.
Hey, sorry I missed your call. Thanks for picking up. We're still live. What's going on?
Hey, Dominic, just wanted to say really appreciate the content you put out. And I'm currently in a criminal justice program at the local community college, and I've been back and forth with actually going to the police academy. And when I first started my journey to try and do this, it was right around the time that George Floyd happened, and it caused a lot of mixed feelings on whether or not I really wanted to pursue that. And around the same time, I had a really negative encounter with a police officer in St. Louis County. Me and some friends were out, and we were pulled over, and the cop was just a complete dick. Mistaken. Turned out to be mistaken identity. There was somebody else on the same road that we were on, speeding, blew past a cop doing over 100 miles an hour. And then because we were in a dark colored, sporty type of car, they pulled us over. And anyway, just the demeanor that the cop had towards us was really unprofessional, and just kind of left a really sour taste in my mouth with dealing with police officers. But I think that's something that I see a lot of is police officers when they interact with the public. Something that is forgotten is this person doesn't know you. This is the first time meeting this person. And that's where you're seeing a lot of these videos where cops come up there and immediately start asserting authority. And, I'm in a supervisor role at my current job, and I deal with customers.
What do you do what is your first job, your current job?
I'm a supervisor for waste management.
Well, I'm going to tell you exactly why I was a fucking fantastic cop, because I worked in retail and then I worked in the nightclub and restaurant industry. So anytime I met people, for the most part, it was for the first time. And if I didn't give a good impression, they wouldn't make a purchase or I wouldn't get tipped. So I came from the hospitality industry into law enforcement. And it was the easiest thing in the world. You go up on scene, you're meeting somebody the first time, you know they're going to have a bad day. They're dealing with the police. Hey, how are you? I'm Officer so-and-so with the such police department. What's going on? What can I do for you? They don't teach that. I don't mean to be an ass, but criminal justice is a waste of time degree in college. You will learn nothing that will apply. God forbid you continue down this path and then you get a degree in criminal justice and you decide not to become a cop, or you test and you don't get hired. You're stuck with a useless degree that's going to apply for nothing. Nothing.
Yep.
You should go into I don't know, business management or fucking, I don't know, hospitality, learn how to run hotels, anything else for that, because they don't care. Most departments want a 60 credit hour associate's degree, and you can get it in fucking horticulture. So one of the big things you're talking about is exactly that. They are taking people with no social skills. Then, not to mention the fact you have a generation of kids who grew up on a phone, and they don't understand nonverbal cues and facial expressions and dealing with somebody and looking, and you say something off color and watch them. Man, they kind of drop in their posture, and like they're not picking up on this stuff. The pandemic had everybody locked down with wearing a mask so you couldn't see shit. You like their visual cues. We have a quality of cop on the street who only knows how to interact with people via social media comments, content, likes, and subscriptions. That's it. They do not have the ability to go out on the street, which is why de-escalation fucking is useless on these cops, because they don't have that ability to deal with the public. You need to hire more bartenders, car salesmen, restaurant people, retail. You need more fast food workers. You need to hire more of those as cops and make it incentivized for them to get on the job, because that's what solved that problem.
Oh, absolutely. On one of my more recent assignments, I asked, in your opinion, what do you think would help with retention in law enforcement? And I'm sitting there thinking, well, why didn't I want to become a cop when I first started this? Why have I been he and hawing over it for so many years? I was like, well, one thing, the pay, I don't think represents the risk. You want to send somebody out there to fix everybody's problem, and with a book of rules to follow at the same time, and then put them in life or death situations, the pay should represent. And then on top of that, you have the pool that they're drawing from. You're drawing in from people that aren't investing in themselves, because I've got somebody that's a high school graduate and that's the best they've ever done. How experienced is that person in
People
life?
don't have life experience.
Exactly.
I dropped out of community college after 2 months. I was a high school graduate. I graduated high school by the skin of my teeth. I had a 1.6 GPA going into my senior year. I graduated with a 3.4 or 3.6 because I had horticulture and gym class. I got A's in both of those. That was it. I scored a fucking 16 on my ACT. Couldn't go to college. I had nothing. But I went into retail. I learned how to work. I was part of a community. We didn't have cell phones back then. You had to deal with face-to-face people. And I was a great cop simply because I had the ability to talk to people. That was it. That was my strength.
After high school, I joined the military, and I thought, if I had the same maturity level without the supervision that I had, I had a lot of supervision when I was in the military. If I had become a police officer out on the streets by myself in a squad car, with that maturity, I can only imagine what would happen.
Yeah, I didn't become a cop till I was 26, so I'm glad I waited the first years. Hey, I appreciate the call and the insight, and maybe just my suggestion, but criminal justice is not really going to help you out in anything.
No, I realized that. I was so close to getting my degree. That's the only reason I'm finishing, is just to get that piece of paper.
Awesome, and best of luck to you with whatever you choose.
Hey, really appreciate you. And
you too.
All
right, take care. All right, guys, I'm doing my best to call you. I guess if we go long tonight, we go long tonight. $312, I'm giving you a call. Hey, you there?
Yeah, I'm there.
I hear you. Thanks for your patience. What's going on?
Hey, no, so new to your channel, and just kind of first time caller. But I watch a lot of the content that you have in regard to TikTok cops and everything, and I have a lot of familiarity with. I'll tell you the department just to kind of have some anonymity, but Cicero PD. And growing up, a lot of those dudes were both sides of the law and just hyper aware of optics. And while that kind of would go against your ethos, I think in the way that they behaved, I think there's something to be gleaned from that, and that the political pressures from inside the department, and then obviously the external pressures, they were always acting like they were watched all the time, like hypersensitivity to optics, always being optics checked. And I just want your opinion on, like, is there something to be gleaned from that? Because you see these TikTok cops just doing shit that a fucking prosecutor or anybody is going to fucking rip apart if should they be on the stand, and they're actively giving that away. And some of those guys still caught cases at that time, whatever. But I think there's something to be taken from that a little bit. It's just like a constant optics check of, like, are you being watched? Are you, like, how should you appear? Just like your perspective on that. And I called in for that. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you up, but I called in because I have a friend who's still active. He ended up getting jammed up by Fox, and he's going to end up taking an early retirement. He's one of the good guys. He's not. He's a really good dude. I won't say his name, but it's career ending. He did everything the right way, and he still gets jammed up in the system. So it's like you could do everything right and still get caught up. So, like, why actively give anyone any ammunition against you?
It blows me away.
Mentality.
It blows me away. We sat there, and I was actually going through my book the other day, and I wrote it, and I started writing in 2016, and I finished it in 2019. I published it in 2019, and I had a chapter on social media where, at the time when I wrote it, I was outraged because we only had Facebook back then that was really big. We weren't using, anything else. And for social media purposes. And you had myself, Mike the Cop, Officer Daniels, Tommy Norman, a few others. And we got a lot of attention. I got put in like 2 documentaries. I did an MTV pilot. I got to meet Ted Nugent and I did a commercial with him, all this shit. And we used the social media platform for law enforcement purposes. When we were on uniform talking about stuff, it was law enforcement. That was it. That time, right around 2014, 2015, 2016, you got department policy started to be made up by chiefs that didn't like it and said, hey, no posting in uniform. You know, you can't do it. You can't associate with any agency, cover your badge, all this shit, blah, blah. And then it got really black and white. You cannot do any content on social media in your uniform. I don't remember the department, but it was East Coast that fought it and won in their state Supreme Court, where that said, yeah, it's unconstitutional to prevent a police officer from filming in their uniform, then the stipulation was don't represent your agency. So now you have this today. It went the complete opposite. The command staff can't do shit about it, and you have these cops who, this is my favorite lip gloss. This is my favorite energy drink. This is me lip syncing. This is it. And the optics they are in their squad cars. And a lot of people who defend them, well, they could be on break. It makes no fucking difference. I have a problem with, and I just put an article up that talked about your brain. There's a certain amount of time that if you're scrolling on your phone and you're stuck in your Instagram, you're engaged in comment wars, you're getting that dopamine hit, and a hot call comes out, it takes 30 seconds or something for your brain to switch back over into, oh, this is reality mode. That's an eternity. If you got somebody coming up, throwing rounds down your range. But to go back to the optics, I have said we were cops who used social media to highlight our passion for being cops. Now you have children who become cops to highlight their status as cops to leverage social media for their own personal agendas. I can't stand it. These LGBTQ fucking cops out there who go online. I don't give a fuck if you suck dick or if you're chowing box. When you go up and you post how prideful you are with what you choose to selectively fall in love with and fuck, am I safe dealing with you now? If you pull me over, are you going to be biased because I'm a heterosexual male? It's like, that's the problem I have. I have the same thing with I get in Michigan or Minnesota, one of the two, if not both, who celebrate all their Muslim cops. Great. I don't give a fuck what religion they are. Are they going to serve Christian and Catholic cops the same way? The optics for what social media has done now is created individualism and division, and it's fucking bad. Cicero, yeah, I know the area. I got to go pick up somebody from fucking Southwest down there in Midway. Cicero, I've been there. They've got some great guys and gals on Cicero. Tough department, tough motherfuckers who work. Yeah. But at the same time, yeah, you're always looking because you look over your shoulder because you want what you do to be righteous, and you do the job, and everybody's trying to string you up. But these kids today, they don't care. They don't fucking care, and it blows me away.
Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of the tech guys. They're tech guys, streaking, but they always had a high sensitivity to both sides. There was a politics IAD and tell you it's like you're the master of what you don't say, the what you do. Other people in your opinion, lack of under criminal when they
your phone is bad. Your phone is badly breaking up.
Hold on one second.
Yeah.
Sorry. Let me hold on. I'll fix it. My bad.
No, you're fine. Yeah, it's social media. It's horrible.
Hold on.
You sound good now. We can hear you now.
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
You can hear you now. Well, now
guys back in the day, there were a few guys that even had affiliations to street gangs. So there was always a hypersensitivity to optics, how they were being appeared at all times. They always thought they were being watched, whether it's by IAD or whatever. But I think there's something to be gleaned from that. That the saying used to go like, "You're a master of what you don't say and a servant to what you do." So you see, is it just a lack of understanding of the criminal justice system by a lot of people? Because you saw Van Dyke get jammed up. And they operate the way that every defense attorney would tell you to behave. When
the Van Dyke shooting was a little bit shitty. Van Dyke shooting was shitty.
Oh, yeah.
It's fucking. Yeah, that was a zealous Chicago cop who shot somebody in the back. Yeah.
I think more so. I'm not necessarily talking about the case in and of itself, but the behavior after the charges came and Dan Herbert. Well, I'm not even trying to even get into that, but more so like the lack of understanding of the criminal justice system to flagrantly give in a would-be situation, because obviously the truth can be on the periphery. I think there's a great attorney online in law self-defense, Andrew Brank, who talks about the citizens have a 10% chance of being convicted, even if they're completely and totally innocent and unaffiliated with the alleged incident. With that being the case, if you take that as being true, why would you really go out and give anyone anything, any ammunition? I just don't understand it.
Our system is so fucking broken and we have quite a few, too many. One is too many, but we have more than one. We have cops who are allowed to resign or they face a suspension when they willfully rob somebody of their constitutional rights. They arrest somebody for talking their mouth off and violating First Amendment, an illegal search and seizure, all this, and nothing's done with them. That's broken. If you're from Illinois, how long have you been in Illinois?
All my life.
Okay. Do you remember the G.I. Joe Glenowitz case in 2015?
I don't. I'm not familiar now.
Okay, Fox Lake police lieutenant. I just covered it a couple weeks ago. He got shot and killed. Turned out to be a suicide and all this. And within that, we have Melissa Kaluzinski, who's sitting in, I think, Pontiac, Illinois, for murdering a toddler. And it turns out there's a shit ton of evidence that proves that she didn't do it. And it's factual. And it's available. And our courts want nothing to fucking do with it. Marnie Yang as well. Same state. Same criminal prosecutors. All this shit. Our criminal justice system is fucking ruined. It's ruined. And we have no police accountability. So I don't know how to even remotely talk about this subject without even coming back to the fact that I remember my academy days. I do not remember one class on the Constitution. Not one. I remember how to fill out traffic citation. Press hard, because you got 7 layers. Press hard into it. Here's your state statutes, Illinois, 725, ILCS. I don't remember anything about search and seizure. I tell all the time, I had to go, because I took a couple years off in between my last 2 departments. I had to go take a class. I had the option, go to the academy again or take a 40-hour Fourth Amendment class. I said, I'll take a 40-hour Fourth Amendment class. And this was ridiculous. The class was run by a man who worked for Jimmy Carter's Secret Service detail. And the guy was a ball buster. He had us there from 8 a.m. to 5:30 every fucking day. Not like anybody else who, hey, it's 3 o'clock, go ahead, go on. Oh, it's Friday, you're going to get out early. We left at 6 o'clock on Friday. There was lieutenants in the class. There was 40 of us, sergeants, patrol officers. I get an email a month or 2 later after the class from this man congratulating me on being the only cop who got 100% perfect score on a Fourth Amendment search and seizure class, 40 hours. And I bragged about it. I put it up online. I screenshotted all this, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, fucking give me accolades. Everyone needs to suck me off. A buddy of mine who's a cop says, I'm not impressed. Every single cop in that class should have gotten a perfect score. And I started to look at that shit. How much don't we know? How much do we know? If I stopped you 2015, 2014, and I stopped you for, I don't know, failure to change lanes without using a signal, and you asked me what statute is that, I couldn't answer it. I don't know. What are the elements of Graham v. Connor? I don't, shit, back then I didn't know. Went to a use of force instructor class. The first words out of the instructor's mouth the first day, show of hands. How many of you has ever said or used on a call, shut your mouth or you're about to go to jail? Every one of us raised our hands right in the air.
Right.
Congratulations. If you did that and you followed through, you violated somebody's First Amendment right. Fuck. Did I ever do that?
It's a crazy statistic. Well, not a statistic, but it's crazy to think about too, right? Like, if that's not a necessary prerequisite to the job, yet, you have some of these prosecutors' offices having the conviction rates that they have, it just highlights the fact of like how broken.
Well, how
really
many
is.
conviction rates? How many conviction rates do they have? Because the plea deals. I wrote 40 DUIs. I wrote 40 DUIs in 2015. I never went to court for one. And to my knowledge, 90% of them got pled down to reckless driving to get those convictions, right? And then the other part of it is there's a system called felony review. In Illinois, if a cop, at least for our county, Lake County and Cook County, we used to call it felony denial. So you arrest somebody back then for like weed or whatever. I pull you over. You've got X amount of weed, and they're all individually baggied up, and you're distributing. So I pull you over, I stop you, I get probable cause for my search, I find a bunch of weed on you, hook you up, and I've got you in the booking room while I'm calling the state's attorney. And I tell everything straight. Oh, here's the traffic stop. You were doing 15 over. I used my dash-mounted radar, pulled you over, came up to the car, got your driver's license, detected the odor of unburnt cannabis in the car, which is all the probable cause I needed, and I found X amount of ounces or grams of weed individually wrapped baggages, so that I want to charge you with possession with intent to deliver. I want the most righteous felony out there. Well, it's your state's attorney who's on call, who's in the lowest totem position. They're the ones that fucking have to answer the phone at 2 a.m. on a Friday night while everybody else is partying and sleeping, or they have to be in bond court the next morning. So they're the ones who only want the cases that they can get the convictions on for certain. Well, yeah, I don't know if you do this. Just knock it down to a misdemeanor and just give them an I bond. What? So the system is broken too for so many righteous cop busts, where you got shithead A, B, C, who has the gun, they fired the round, they see it on scene, now cut them loose. Cut them loose. So the state's attorney is very much part of the corrupt problem we have as well, too.
Yeah, I got a 16 on my ACT, too. I just wanted to point that out. So I don't, what the fuck do I know? But, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, there's something, and don't quote me on this, but I was just reading some stats the other day. It's like 385 million police interactions when we have 365 million people in this country. We know that violent crime is basically attributed to mostly males between the ages of 18 and 35. With that being the case, obviously that math is not copacetic. When you really look at that, you don't need to be a mathematician to realize, well, something's a little off here, especially when you look at the conviction rates too. And yeah,
and the recidivism rates and how many people. I thought about this. I was brushing my teeth the other day and I thought about a guy. Oh, what was his name? Jeff. I can't remember his last name. And he was the most arrested man in Lake County. And I thought about it. He was in our town. He was a squatter. And I'm like, what did this man do where he was homeless and he probably had over 100 arrests, right? And they ranged, right? And a lot of them were, he was stealing, drunk in public, all this shit. But at what point does the criminal justice system attribute to the failure of mankind to where, yeah, maybe the first time, Jeff got arrested for DUI and he deserved it. But then where did it snowball to where all of a sudden we just saw him as a number and fucking sent him to court? This is what we do. And he racked up, who knows, hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars in fines and court fees and dates and lawyer fees that he could never pay off. And his just life went to shit. And we looked at him as just a piece of shit. I mean, how many times does the criminal justice system do that as well, too? So it's a fucking broken system.
It's another faction of the government where the goodwill, the well-being of the citizenry is just on the periphery. It's just really no different than that branch. But hey, man, I'll let you go.
I appreciate your call.
Thanks,
I appreciate
man.
it. All right, be safe. All right, guys, I'm going to take a couple more. This is a fantastic night. I appreciate you guys. Let me see who else I got. 503, giving you a call because I said I would. Guys, we do this live every Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, and we go until we go.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, thank you for being patient. We're still live. What's going on?
Hey, how's it going? This is Dave from Miltech Moto. I'm kind of watching your stream right now.
Yeah, we're still live, man. What's going on?
Well, I was just going to talk to you about this, but I noticed that the Justice Department is allegedly investigating California for Second Amendment violations and stuff like that.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
And I mean, the thing that comes to mind is 18 section USC 241, conspiracy against rights, and 18 USC 242, deprivation of rights under the color of law. And I'm just thinking, when it comes to California and the specific officers that are actually doing the arrest, because if you go to Facebook, right, of all these CHP pages for California, you'll see they're constantly posting photos of stuff that they've confiscated in traffic stops. This person was found with the possession of an assault rifle and, they were arrested and blah, 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 right? It's like a federal felony. I think it's a felony in California to have an AR-15, right? So my question, I think, is when are we going to start seeing USC 242 and 241 applied to these individual police? The DA, the governor, because Governor Newsom was trying to make an amendment to get rid of the Second Amendment. And then you had, of course, the DA, Bonta, and what was that guy? He was the previous he was like the previous guy that they had in there. Right now it's Bonta.
Okay.
But it was the other guy before that.
Not
he
familiar.
had like glasses.
Not familiar.
Yeah,
I don't know any of that, because it's like, at what point does the 10th Amendment, states' rights, give them carte blanche to do what they want? Like in Illinois, go ahead.
Yeah.
Well, Illinois, we have we have a FOID card, right? I have a FOID, FOID card, Firearms Owner's Identification card, that I have to get to the state. Why? It's my God-given right. Why do I need a FOID card in the state of Illinois? So it's like, I do not understand how states' laws, 10th Amendment, applies for trumping federal rights. I don't understand that. I really don't.
Yeah, well, the way California was originally arguing this, like I think a couple of years ago, was that Second Amendment didn't apply to them because, like, for example, New York and California don't actually have a Second Amendment provision in their state constitution. So they were trying to argue. Yeah, but it's
federal. That's what I don't get. It's federal.
Well, again, like I said, they're still arguing the states' rights issue, because basically what they're thinking is, well, even like the way you and me are thinking is like, well, the Second Amendment, the U.S. Constitution is a baseline, right? Like a floor, a basement for where the rights come and start from, a common denominator between all 50 states. The way California sees it is it's like that's their duty to like. What laws that they have a duty to uphold or protect. That's why they don't that's why they have the sanctuary city thing too, because the same mindset is for that. So they ultimately believe that the Second Amendment doesn't apply in their states, and they're trying to basically, gerrymander it into a non-existent right. And for me, I guess the issue is, because I have a lot of friends who are cops. I have a parent that was in law enforcement for 20 years. But I just think that, like, a lot of the police don't really understand what's going on in California. Like, when you get pulled over by the police sometimes they'll ask you, do you have any weapons in the car? And if you say no, like, or you just say, I don't answer questions, well, now you got to, like, play this game of, like, are you going to get searched for officer safety, and then all this. And then if they find something, that's failure to disclose, or, it's just, you're basically in a legal minefield, like you're cruising for a court date, basically, in California.
Yeah,
my issue is with New York. Honestly, I don't feel very much sympathy for New York police, NYPD, or CHP or California when they have all this out of control crime, because to me, it's like this. I think we're asking too much from police in a lot of ways. Ultimately, I think that the right of the people to defend themselves.
Oh, I think more guns. I think more guns equal a safer society. I think all gun laws are unconstitutional, all of them.
But, like, for example, like, they've said, like, oh, you don't have a right to defend your property, and then they went, you don't have a right to defend your liberty, and now they're saying, oh, you don't have a right to defend your life. And so when these NYPD officers, who, by the way, spent the last 30 years, or even further before that, frisking people looking for quote unquote unlawful possession or carrying of a gun. And now, like, the subway, everyone's getting stabbed, it's lit on fire or whatever. Mm-hmm. And now they're like, oh, cops are under attack. But it's like, this is the long-term consequence of basically depriving individual private citizens from defending themselves from the criminals. And now it's bleeding over to, like, basically cops getting attacked too by those same criminals.
Isn't it amazing when you remove the concept of responsibility, personal responsibility, right? Well, the state's going to take away my ability to defend myself, so what's the point? And your mindset's going to change. Your mindset changes, you get fat, you get lazy, you're not aware, and then all of a sudden you get attacked by somebody with a knife or a gun on the subway, and then the cop shows up. Well, now it's a fat, lazy, untrained, unaware cop who's going to be the one defending you. What you just said is right. Society is being destroyed because of lack of standards from everywhere. I appreciate the call. You brought some great points.
Yeah, and also the thing is, people are not able to defend themselves, right? So
no, they'll go to jail.
Those criminals are, like, now free. I mean, the reality is, when they say, how do you plead? And they have, like, 15 felonies on their record.
Yeah, they don't care.
The real question the judge should be asking is, how are you still alive? And the answer is the cops basically help keep them alive by aiding and abetting them, basically, by disarming all of their victims
Well, I'm for a heavily armed society. I mean, I appreciate your call, and I wish that would be the case. I got to call some other people back, man, but I appreciate you.
Alrighty, have a good one.
Thank you. All right, we'll take a couple more of you guys here. I'm going to call Philadelphia.
Hey, Dominic?
Hey, sorry I missed your call. I appreciate you holding on. We're still live. What's going on?
Absolutely. This is Dominic. Just prefacing with the fact that I'm not a law enforcement officer. However, I work very closely with law enforcement.
Are you C or CK?
CK.
Nice. All right, we're paisan.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So I'm a firefighter and a paramedic.
Oh, you took the smart way. You went the good path.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Actually, I want to say I've been following your socials since high school-ish, roughly.
Wow.
There's a lot of stuff that I could talk to you about because initially I did want to go the law enforcement path, but life had other plans. Basically, to kind of keep it relevant and keep the creative juices going with the conversation, I want to bring things back to the training of law enforcement.
Yeah.
Because our training is kind of similar to yours. And I feel like there's a really big decline in stress inoculation amongst first responders, which I watched a lot of your recap videos about critical incidents and basically how you rip them apart when they shit the bed. And the same thing happens on my end. So I just wanted to know what your thoughts were about that.
I don't even know how training is anymore. And the lack of training is ridiculous. I've had simunitions training once, and it was great. I had rapid deployment training once, and it was great. Our range days were nothing more than static, stand and shoot, 7 yards. Was it 15 yards, 21 yards? We didn't have training. None of us did. And what you're talking, and it was, anytime we did have that high stress training, it was fucking great, man. You woke up and you were like, holy shit, I've been on for 5 years, and now all of a sudden we're doing simunitions and we're using our pistols with these rounds in there that you could fucking get shot on. And I mean, it was some awesome, awesome training. And we only did it once because our department has, we never did. I've been a part of, I think 5 or 6 felony stops. Never trained on them. No, we just knew what to do. Oh, okay. This is what you're supposed. Okay, let's do whatever. I got more when I went to NIPUS. Was Northern Illinois Police Alarm Systems. I was part of the mobile field force. We had training there. Road curbside arrest, officer down response. It was some really cool training, but that was once every 2 months for an 8-hour day. So it's like you don't get the training you should do. And plus, not to mention the fact, I don't know if you can attest for this. How many guys take it seriously when it's time to train?
Yes, 100%. So I'm a big proprietor of, because I'm very big into being a paramedic. I don't mean to interrupt you,
but I don't mean to interrupt you. You guys have to study all the fucking time, don't you? We used to go.
It is ever evolving.
Dude, we had to go. My buddy and I used to go. We worked 3 to 11s. And when wintertime came, after 9 o'clock, when the sun was done and it was cold, we used to go to the firehouse and hide. And we used to hang with you guys. And if you guys weren't eating or watching TV, you were fucking studying all the time.
Yep, all the time. So this is an interesting concept I thought of on the paramedic side, but I also think it would be good on the police side. When a new paramedic firefighter officer comes in, sending them for field training, not just in one specific geographical area. So like if you're going to work in a city, that's great. You need to know how to operate in the city, but you also need to be prepared, maybe do like a shift out in the middle of nowhere. So you know what it's like to just be you in the middle of that situation and developing the skills to be able to navigate the situation.
Wait, you're asking that you mean cops would actually respect what other cops are doing, and you wouldn't have the jagoffs in the comment section going, well, the only real police are Chicago, New York, and LA. You mean you'd actually have that? I love that. You find out somebody's got like 3 years on. Oh, you're not a cop. What do you need to serve fucking 25 years, 30 years? Tell me the percentage of cops who actually go that long. Oh, yeah.
And then they get that one hot call and they're by themselves because backup's tied up for some bullshit call and it's just them. And they need to navigate that situation to the best of their abilities without ending up on CNN.
Or the cops who have, I just saw another one. It was, it was New York or something. Call comes up and it was a shooting. It was somewhere in Texas. It was a bigger city in Texas. And you had 30 cops just standing around. It's like, that's what they do. The bigger cities, that's what you guys fucking do. You guys, and I do have a bias against city cops because I can't stand that they think that they're the only shit out there when they're glorified fucking nightclub doormen. But yeah, no, you go and you do a county deputy whose backup is 45 minutes away, and you have to go to a combative domestic. Now what? But they're not the real police. Is that what?
And you're a 4-foot Hispanic female officer with no physical ability, and you have some 7-foot Clegane roided out guy. And
times have changed.
That's how officers die. Unfortunately,
it is. How long have you been on? How long you been on the fire department?
So I just graduated the academy for a big city, and I'm working as a paramedic full time. But in total, I started off as like a cadet when I was in middle school and high school. So I've been doing it about almost 15 years now.
Wow. Make a career out of it and climb the ranks and become brass.
Absolutely. My hands are a little too rough for that one. But,
but those are the guys. Those are the guys we need in leadership.
I would love to discuss some more stuff with you because I actually I was in the Police Explorer track, and I went to a specialized high school for emergency services. And I was kind of a victim of the boys club and favoritism and stuff like that. So at some point in the future, if you have the time, I'd like to reach out to you and just kind of give your thoughts about that.
Yeah, send me a text during the week. I have spots during the day. Send me a text during the week. We'll talk.
I appreciate your time, Dominic.
Of course. Thanks for calling in. Thank you. Guys,
Bye-bye.
708-982. Let me see. 0974. You know what? We got time for one more. If I have one more person that I missed,
Hey, this is Seth. Sorry I missed your call.
All right, sorry to give you a call. And let me see. I should have one more. Hang on a second. 872. Did I call you back? Let's see. Yeah, I did. I tried to. 510. I don't see. 510. I did. Okay. Looks like maybe I got to everybody. Did I get to this one?
Yes, sir. My name's Steve from Texas.
Did I get you?
And, man, I love your show, and I got something I want to say about it.
Oh, yeah. We already talked to you, Steve. Thank you. Guys, I think I got everybody today. Oh.
LLC, and my phone number is 20126.
Good, you. I don't need you. And
love what you do. I'm in Mississippi.
Hang on. I don't think I called you. 228. Give you a call back.
Hey,
did I give you a call yet? Hello?
Okay, who am I speaking with?
Dominic Izzo. You called and I missed your call. Did I call you back?
Okay, concerning what?
You left me a voicemail. Cop Talk Live?
Oh, no.
Apparently
That's
not.
you.
Yeah, hang on. I'm here to sell you some insurance. That's a joke. I'm not.
You're ex-cop, right?
Yep, you're live. I figure we'll close out with you.
Come on, man. Don't tell me that. You are a bulldog, man. What's wrong with you? You gonna get hurt, man.
What am I gonna get hurt for?
Those people want to hurt you, man. You know how many people you upset?
No, I'm a dangerous motherfucker, and ain't nobody gonna hurt me. I'm 5'7", 230 pounds of piss and fuck your mother.
Don't tell me. I already look. When I saw you, and what you were saying, guess what? You come to Mississippi, you're a rich man.
Oh, what do you do out in Mississippi?
They are. Oh man, you come to me. Oh man, I was so crying when I saw you. Today was the first day that I watched you.
Oh, I appreciate that. What do you agree or disagree? You sound like you're a man of the people.
No. I'm a victim of what you were saying and what you were. Look, oh man, I said if you come to Mississippi, You are a rich man.
Okay.
I know what you would do. I know what you would do.
What would I do?
You will go. I got illegal arrest after I paid fines in court, and man, you got everybody. You left out some people. The judicial court, but the one that's most important are the ones that collect the fines. That's the judicial. Oh no, I got the judges. I got all my paperwork. You come to Mississippi, you're a rich man. I got you covered. I got you everything. I got you covered.
Well, what's the cuisine down in Mississippi? What are we drinking and eating?
Man, they got casino. We got more casinos than Las Vegas. I was stationed there in 1974.
Damn.
I tell you, got it, baby. You the man.
I swear to God, you remind me of who was the Cajun, the chef, Justin Wilson. Used to watch him.
Right. You're goddamn right.
Used to watch him at my grandmother's house on the Cooking Network. I guarantee. Hey, I appreciate your call. But you enjoy the rest of your night. It was good to talk to you.
Hey, are you going to entertain that? I have all the evidence.
Okay. Well, if you got evidence,
my number.
Yeah. Well,
wait a minute. Here's what I need to tell you.
Yeah.
I'm going to pay you for every minute of your time you spend with me. I want to tell you, if you call me, I cash out whatever you need tomorrow. I'll cash out. I don't do the internet stuff, so I get my wife and them to do it for me. Right? If you decided you want to come to the city, we got your expenses covered. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Here's the only thing I'm worried about. The only thing I'm worried about is you sound like if I come down there, I'm going to wake up in a bathtub of ice with some voodoo witch doctor over me and my fucking kidneys removed. And you'd be like, you decided
to work at the motel. He works at one of the...
Telling you. Yeah, I can picture you. I picture you. You all decided to come down to Mississippi? You want to see what's out? Ooh, it's moonshine. It's just a fucking... I get it. I love you.
Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
I'm 73, right?
Okay.
They've been getting me for 20 years.
Yeah.
Not 20 years, but since 05, when they started arresting me for fines I'd already paid in court. Man, you come to Mississippi, we got you covered. I want to rent a place. And you don't have to worry about no expenses for nothing.
I appreciate that. I'm a little bit scared though. So, hey, I appreciate your phone call, man. And we'll end the night with you because you made my night. Appreciate all that. So, all right, yeah.
Come to Mississippi, please.
Well, I'm terrified right now. I'm going to stay in the suburbs of Chicago where I'm safe. But I appreciate that. I'm going to cut you loose. We'll talk to you soon.
Please call me back.
There we go. That's, did I miss anybody? Hang on one damn second. Maybe I'll give one more person a chance here. Why not? I've had some coffee. Okay. I did call him back. Great. That's 72. Right here, we talk quarterly. Yes. Yes. Okay. Yep. All right. It's 872. I'm back. All right, hang on a second. 872, you're going to call me back. Let's do this. That was something.
Hello. Please state your name after the tone, and Google Voice will try to connect you.
All right, it's Izzo. One last time. Let's give it a shot.
Izzo.
All right, now we got you, right?
Hey, Izzo, how are you, brother?
Good. Are you in the city? Where are you at?
I'm within the city, metro area.
Oh, geez. I ain't coming down there, man. I haven't been down there since, I think, 2021.
Hey, man, I've been following you for a long time since you ran for sheriff.
Oh shit! I appreciate that. Thank you. If I agree with me,
one of those shirts. I kind of like your shirt.
Oh, I got a couple more. I think. No, what can I do for you?
Hey man, I appreciate you coming out there and putting a light through law enforcement in general, right? And I got a couple of questions. They're easy, and if you have time, can I ask you?
Yeah.
Number one.
Yeah, go ahead.
Would be, if you were to do things differently in your old department, what would you do?
As far as
and number two,
okay.
And number two, what is the future for law enforcement in the next, let's say, 4 to 5 years?
All right, so my answer is the exact same thing I ran on the platform for Cook County Sheriff is I would put the officers first, and that's what we don't have. No sheriff and no, to my knowledge, and no police chief put their officers, their patrol first. They're always trying to appease their mayor who appointed them by being virtue signaled by the citizens and the constituents who voted them in. If I got appointed police chief for my last department tomorrow, I would go in and every single officer, every patrol officer would get exactly what they needed. Their standards would be raised as high as I could possibly do it, period. If I couldn't mandate that they all got 100% on a test, it was pass or fail, I would be pressuring the shit out of every cop to be perfect as possible. Strive for that. This way, the citizens are better served. Because I think it's backwards. I think that the command staff goes and they try to appease each other, the mayors, the citizens, and they leave the cops out to dry. Well, a better equipped, a well-run, a more higher functioning patrol base, a better served community. I don't think it's the job of the police chief to worry about what the community fucking thinks. I think they need to worry about what their patrol at the very, very, very basic level is. I would look at discipline as not corrective behavior, but corrective improvement, meaning that cops are constantly terrified to be disciplined. Oh, you do this and you got to go have a see me memo in the sergeant's office because they know that their cops are always being fucking dinged by brass because brass has a hard on. They're masochists to abuse cops. I think discipline needs to be listened. This is the problem. You're going to improve. You couldn't write the report properly or you got something screwed up on an arrest. This is the discipline, but it's meant for your improvement, period. Pressure test your guys to be the top. I would be heavy on having the most well-organized, well-functioning patrol base ever of any department across America. And because we don't have that, you're going to see federalization of police. I truly think what's going to happen in the next 5 to 10 years is that police departments are allowed to fail. You have too many individuals who are focused on TikTok, too many shootings because of piss poor training and all this, that the nation is going to start getting divided. Well, 5 cops in Idaho shot this kid with a knife and we wouldn't have done that in New York, or we wouldn't have done that in Florida, or 5 cops in Florida pulled an NFL player out of his car for speeding, and it turned out that they were done by 5 thugs who were on that department, but Ohio wouldn't do that. So the solution for such dysfunction across America is to federalize police and have the standards on a federal level. I think that if the liberal agenda, if the liberal activists, if the liberal district and state's attorneys keep allowing to have their way, this is why you have recidivism, increased crime, violent crime, handcuff the police is all meant to be a problem. So whoever else, I don't know who it will be, Department of Justice or somebody else comes in and says, no, we have a massive problem in America. We need to federalize police so we could take over everything. That's what I think is going to happen.
Right. I see and I hear you. Name's Hector, by the way. Yeah, I hear you have a great platform. I think it's an awakening that all these TikTok videos coming out with this 21-year-olds, they have no life experience, just like you. You had experience with sales or any kind of interpersonal interactions throughout your life. That makes a hell of a difference when it comes to use of force.
Tremendous.
And these kids coming out of early, graduating out of high school, getting hired at 18, but, they can't be literally hired till 21, but,
do you live in the city?
At 18.
Do you live in the city?
I live within the city area, yeah.
How old are you?
Oh, geez, I'm like 42.
Okay, you're 42. When you go in the city, how many fucking cops do you look at and see that? And Chicago, you've got there's a lot of them out of shape, can't fucking fight their way out of a wet paper bag. You look at them and you're like, I don't respect you, and you know that God forbid they go hands on, that they're going to have to escalate force because they can't fucking take you. I get thoughts like that all the time because of the quality of people we have on the street.
I hear you. Usually the older veterans are not in tune with their health, and oftentimes at that age, once they hit their 30s and 40s, I think they reach a plateau where it's more of self-preservation than trying to be a hero. I guess it's more of a job at that point versus, hey,
yes.
I want to make a difference.
Yes,
and so. And then they also see themselves as the exclusionary culture, because the new culture now is, if I remember looking at CPD's model, at first it was answer the call, and then now it's be the change. So what you do with that model is you're basically telling the old timers, the veterans, hey, we don't need you anymore. We're trying to get you out of here.
Oh, yeah.
We need new breed. Yeah, so what does that tell the veteran? You're worthless. All your 20, 30 years that you had under your belt to show these kids of what a police officer is, it's worthless.
I can't tell you how many guys I get DMing me telling me that they're leaving or they left because their department is saturated with young idiots and they can't deal with them. They're like, you're not allowed to say anything to them. You can't take them off to the side and mentor them. It's like, I'm fucking done. They pull the plug. It blows me away.
Well, you know what? If you were still on a department, what was it, Round Lake?
Yeah,
I can't remember.
I finished with Round Lake
Something
Park.
With the beach.
I started with Round Lake Beach.
With the beach.
I started.
And by the way, those the administration you had, full of scumbags. Total scumbags.
Oh, from
the one with the glasses. That's right.
Yeah, Round Lake Park. Yes.
Yeah. But anyway, going back to that is, so basically the bigger demographic now in law enforcement in the Chicagoland area and surrounding suburbs, the majority is younger kids.
Mm-hmm.
And the veterans, anything over 15 years, they're the minority now. And so in their head, they're like, I'm trying to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, and a kid, what kind of a kid, life experience, you're at home with your wife and your girlfriend and your neighbors here, you playing video games, thinks that you arguing, call the police, and then some 21, 22-year-old kid shows up at your house and they force entry in because they have an exigent circumstance and a responsibility to check to make sure you guys aren't killing each other. It's insane. It's insane.
It's insane. I agree with you 100%. And there's got to be a balance with veterans and younger kids that it has to be a melting, I would say like a melting pot of different variants as far as their background, right? What they know, what they've known, military or not military, sales, no sales. And for what I've seen it's kind of scary. I don't know what the next, like I asked you, the second question is where the next 4 or 5 years, where is law enforcement going?
I think when you don't have a handle on it, the fucking government's got to step in. I think that's where it's headed.
And that's where I quote you. You said federalism, right?
Yeah, federalize. Yeah, because you don't see these sheriffs. Yeah. I mean, sadly, I've got my opinions on some of these sheriffs. Law enforcement is going two ways. The camera, I don't respect, and like Sheriff Grady Judd, I know he's loved in his county. I don't respect bragging about killing people when you're the police. I don't. Fucking at all. I did not respect the comment, and I offered him twice to come on a podcast to explain himself, and he blew me off both times. Sheriff Mark Lamb, who flat out admits on a podcast, and it's got 1 million+ views, he became the police in his mid-30s because he got to carry a gun, drive fast, and rough people up. It's like, that's a fucking example you want to set? I can't stand that we now have a camera that is now, it's social media. It's clicks and likes and how many sheriffs. I just saw another one who lost his reelection who will parade criminals on their social media. So-and-so, and it was started by Captain Clay Higgins, who's now Congressman Clay Higgins, who would show the mug shots or these sheriffs will get in vehicle pursuits. They'll have the handcuffed suspect in front of the vehicle. So-and-so thought they could speed through our town, lead our deputies on a pursuit. Good job. It doesn't matter how much of a piece of shit this person was. You just ruined their chance of getting a fair trial because of what? The camera. So we have a big problem with bigger narcissism in law enforcement. And trust me, I'm a narcissist, so I know. And individualism. So nobody is going to serve the badge, serve the flag, serve the Constitution, serve the people. They're serving them fucking selves. And it's going to the wayside bad.
Right. And the cameras are a big thing. You know, the cameras are the window to the world as far as law enforcement. And I'm sure you saw that when the camera started popping up at your old department and how intrusive it was and how it could be used against you.
Yeah, we loved them. Yeah, I am a camera whore. So I loved it. I loved watching myself on body camera or what I was doing later on. So I loved all that stuff. It was a different time. But then again, too, I was in my 40s. I'm a 40-year-old man. And, I love the job and I looked at it as a profession. So, I mean, I get it. I get it.
Hey, I appreciate you taking the
No, thanks for the great questions. Thank you for the great questions.
And,
I appreciate that.
You know what? And like I said, I followed you and your different venues and whatnot, and I see how your mind is developing, and I appreciate you having a voice out there for everyone that doesn't or can't have one.
Well, thank you. I'm in the Schaumburg area. I don't drink beer, but if you're ever around, give me a call. I'll get a sandwich.
Hi, brother. You ride what do you ride, a Harley?
No, fuck no. I ride a Honda Valkyrie. I've got a Honda Valkyrie and a Bobber. So I got two, both of them are 97s. I got a big bitch. My Valkyrie is a huge flat six. Yep. All right. Take care.
Be safe out there. Be safe out there.
Thank you. All right, guys. Man, shit. It's been, all right. Last one. Yeah. Let's see. You're live. We'll close out with you. What's going on? Hello.
Hey, can you hear me?
We are. Yeah, let's close out with you. We'll take you as the last call tonight. What's going on?
All right. Oh, yep. Thanks very much for having me. So, yeah, I wanted to get your thoughts on this because I've been watching you for a little while now. One thing I agree with most of what you say, but one thing I don't agree with. You correct me if I'm wrong. You support mag dumping, right?
So explain what mag dumping is.
Mag dumping, just for an example, like 4 or 5 cops, they will just unload a lot.
So the excuse, if you will, is, and I'll paint this picture. No, I don't agree with that because it's just saying fire, until the person isn't moving anymore. And we were trained like that. You empty your magazine until the threat is not standing anymore, right? Until the threat is terminated. And you got to get the science behind it too, right? So the purpose for using ammunition, bullets into people is to terminate life-threatening behavior. That's done by blood loss. The more holes you have in the body, the more the blood is evacuated from the body. I think it's either a pint or a quart of blood and the body just shuts off. Or you place a perfectly well-round right in between the eyes and you sever the brain from the spinal cord and it's immediate death. When it goes to that, yeah, it's the sympathetic trigger reflex from your nerves. So you're standing next to me, you start firing, I'm going to start firing. It's a lot of bad firearms training, and cops are just not trained very well in it. No, I think just on that alone, just on that description, mag dump, it's irresponsible. Because you're slapping the trigger, rounds are going all over the place, you have no idea where your bullets are going down, and everybody's just shooting. So when Grady Judd says, hey, we shot this guy 68 times because we ran out of bullets, I think that's fucking beyond vile and irresponsible as a member of law enforcement. So I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, because one of my biggest problems is with law enforcement is most people support like one cop shooting like 10 times. If we the people, this is just me basing off all the videos that I watch. If I have someone running at me with a knife, if I shoot them 4 times, I will get drilled from cops. Why did you shoot that many times? That you have no need to shoot 4 times. I think there's a massive double standard.
That I've never heard. With cops. Well, cops like to be cops, and it was. I had the air of it, when you had people, you'd be at the 7-Eleven or the White Hen getting coffee, and somebody would come up and they would be firearms trained. And we are here. I'll admit this. When Illinois got conceal and carry, a lot of us I was mixed. Yeah, I'm fucking glad, man. Every citizen should carry, but at the same time, I'm the police. I'm the only one should have a gun. I had a little bit of that in me, right? The problem with having a preset number of rounds going down range to terminate your threat is, what's that number? Well, should one bullet do the job? 2? 5? 12? You don't know what it's going to, circumstance dictate tactics, and it's such a, you can't come up with a set number. Well, you can only shoot twice and then reassess. Shoot 2 more times, reassess. Now, there's times you get a threat running at you, you need to terminate the life-threatening behavior, and you need to empty as many rounds as you can, and then until it stops. And if it takes 30 rounds and you were able to sit there and pump 15 and do a mag change and do it again, and you did it in under 5 seconds, good for you. So I don't support the concept, but I do support terminating the life-threatening behavior with any means necessary.
Okay, yep, I can understand that. All right. Now on to something else too. I'd like to get your thoughts on this as well. And me personally, this is why I have an issue with almost every cop. Right here is another big double standard. Every cop in the USA. If I film on a public sidewalk, a cop can handcuff me. They've never gotten charged with kidnapping.
I agree. I agree with you. I have said.
That's why I hate me personally. I'm all cops are bastards, and the reason why, because like I said, every cop can kidnap someone in the USA
if they can articulate it. You're 100% right. I have said it. My standard, and I've been asked about this by other cops. I think every cop in America is bad. I do, and here's my standard why. It's the same thing as if you have a pool full of water and that water has got 50% fucking shit, piss, and whatever else it's in it. If you jump in it and you're submerged head to toe, you're covered in shit, and I dip my toe in it, my toe is still covered in shit. I'm still part of the shitty problem because I went into the pool. I want cops to have the mindset of a constant state of improvement. Our fucking profession is fucked. I'm in the fucking pool of shit, but I'm going to clean up myself as I go. It's just a mindset. I think, and I've said it a million times, I think that we need to start. If I had the emperor staff of power, I would make it a death penalty for any cop who was convicted after a lawful trial, due process, of violating somebody's civil rights. I think if you have the God-given right to have free speech, and a uniformed police officer, or not, whatever it is, a sworn officer who knows they swore their oath and they willingly violate it, it's the death penalty. It should be a capital fucking punishment. So I agree with you on that, and we do not have enough cops being charged for violating First and Fourth Amendment rights.
Yeah, I think what would solve that is if charge cops with kidnapping, and anytime they do that, and I think that would solve it. Or make those settle. That's an easy settlement if I get handcuffed for filming a bank, whether I'm baiting a cop or not. But make the settlements come out of their pension. That would also solve it really quick. I think there's a couple quick ways, but.
Yeah, I agree with you. And what you need is a very aggressive, very smart constitutional lawyer to step up to the plate and start fucking filing criminal complaints. It's what you as a cop. If I was on and I was in your town, or any part of a criminal activity touched my town, and it's within the statute of limitations, if I put together a compelling report and a compelling argument, I can go to a state's attorney, have them review it, and tell them, I want you to issue me a warrant. I have to go before a judge. The judge has to hear it, and so I can theoretically, you punch somebody in the face and a fucking 2 years go by, and it's 1 year, 364 days, and I want to, and I convince that complainant to sign a report. or sign a complaint, I can go. I can get a warrant for your arrest. Almost 2 years later, right? Why can't we need somebody? We need an attorney who is intelligent, aggressive, constitutionally driven, that starts looking at these cases and says, like the one caller earlier today, no, I'm going criminally charges on a federal level for this cop who willfully violated my client's constitutional rights by arresting them for being on their own property, talking loudly. And we need to have more fucking cops going to jail.
Yeah, like I personally think if a cop gets convicted of a crime, it should be like triple what a regular citizen should get. But it's like never triple. It's like
no,
way
it isn't. It isn't.
Cops,
in my opinion, the number one offenders of DUIs on the planet are police officers because they know they can get away with it. So, and they do. It's sad. I appreciate your call, and you brought some great points, and you had some great comments tonight. Thank you.
Yeah, yep, and thanks for taking my call too. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for being a part of this. Thank you. Have a good night.
Yep. Bye.
All right. I think that's it. Guys, 2.5 hours almost. Let me see. Let me just see. I can't in good conscience. Let me hear this as a voice note.
Call me back, or I sent you a request on IG because I like your callers. I didn't want to block.
Oh, hang on. I think we could do this.
Hey, Dom, Joe here.
I got that. Hang on. Let me see. I know I missed one of you guys. Where was that? Oh, hell. Guys, man, I'd love to call. That's it. Look, we're going to end it there. Guys, we do this live every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 Central, 7 Pacific, 7 Mountain, 6 Pacific. And this is the goal, is to change cop culture through education, training. There's a lot I want to bring to this channel. I will be, and I'll travel anywhere in the Chicago area to give free defensive tactics to any police department who wants it. They won't take it up on. It won't happen. We have a lot of work to do. Man, guys, you got some great. I will get back to your text messages. We've gone 2.5 hours. This is awesome. That's it. Have a great damn night. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Check out coptalklive.org, changing cop culture, for articles and videos and content on law enforcement and your comments. And this is the website. You can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, all that good stuff. coptalklive.org. You can donate and support the growth of this channel by going to Cop Talk Live on PayPal, or buy my book, Before the Badge, Everything You Need to Know Before You Become a Cop. And that's it. Have a great damn night, guys. I appreciate your involvement. I love doing this, and you guys make this worthwhile beyond words. Be safe out there.